What's up, Senuena Senuti Tiran Ishakandu Kemet? I hope you're doing well. The title of this video is Hebrew Israelites are on survival mode. Just shared it on Twitter. Alright, I'm gonna start with a little some. This is yesterday's video where I address Kanye West.
I'm not blaming Jews for this. I'm blaming the leftist ADL. To deny black Jews their heritage is a historic fraud. It's a damn historic fact. It's on Wikipedia. It's not even debated.
So I don't expect, Alex Jones to be deep when it comes to history. But there, he really sounded like the conscious community. He really sounded like the Pan-African so-called scholars. So it's on Wikipedia. It's not even debated. The blackness of Jews is a historical fact. Now, he started off saying it's a historical fact that Solomon married a bunch of black women. That's what he said. You can go back and listen to it. It's a historical fact. If anybody knows Alex Jones, if you don't mind asking him for his record, for his data, for his sources, because that's news to me. That's news to me. It's a historical fact that Solomon married a bunch of black women. So maybe we will have some black Hebrews who are quoting Alex Jones and say, they will say, well, even Alex Jones knows the deal. You know what I'm saying? Even Alex Jones knows the deal. He even stated on air, live, that Solomon married a bunch of black women. So just yesterday, I did say that maybe Hebrew Israelites will quote Alex Jones. It didn't take long. Because one day later, we have a Hebrew Israelite who not only quoted Alex Jones, he actually uploaded that part. Let's have a look together. This is the guy who goes by the username ZionLex. He has uploaded that video. As you can see, 2 hours ago. See that? And look at the title. Alex Jones on the tribe of Judah. Okay, it's one minute and 31 seconds, so let's listen to it.
So
well, I mean, people should read that for themselves. What about Haile Selassie? Because this is what happened to Kyrie Irving, and it made me really mad because when I was a kid growing up reading comic books and stuff, I could read really early. When I was like 5, I could read like a 10-year-old. When I was 10, I could read like a college student. And so I put down comic books when I was about 8 because my mom had all these history books, and some of them were picture history books. And I started reading those. And it's like a fact that Solomon married a bunch of black women. It's a fact that Ethiopia was Jewish. It's a fact that North Africa was Jewish. It's a fact that went on. And then Kyrie Irving puts out a video explaining that a bunch of North African blacks are intermarried and part Jewish, and Israel lets a bunch of blacks in because they can prove that their lineage, their names are Jewish names. So how is it anti-Semitic? And how does the ADL say it's anti-Semitic for black people who are related directly to King Solomon and King David, the line of Judah, which Haile Selassie was the leader of Ethiopia? That's where this whole movement comes from. To act like they don't know this, I'm not blaming Jews for this. I'm blaming the leftist ADL. To deny black Jews their heritage is a historic fraud. It's a damn historic fact. It's on Wikipedia. It's not even debated.
It's true, but it's not just the leftists, it's the right-wing ones too, because in Israel, Ye was just showing me a clip the other day where they are racist towards the Sudanese or Ethiopian black Jews that immigrated to Israel. They kick them out. There's quotas.
Well, I mean, Israel's even mean to the Hasidic Jews now. I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're waging war.
Right. So, and I agree with you. And what they've done
All right, you heard it. Now our sister Thickness in the place to be. How you doing? It's been a minute. It's supposed to be members only though. So let me do that. Now let me do that and see if it has updated. All right. Let me refresh. No, it's not just for you, sister. I received a super chat. Thank you. But feel free to call us, sister. As usual, I share the link so everybody can join us. But I've just decided, and it's not just today. Please don't take it the wrong way. It's been a while that I've decided to make the chat for members only. Do you have a bit of time to say what's up, sister? But yes, all is well, sister. Same old thing, you know. But I don't know what's going on. Let me refresh the page. Okay, no problem. Maybe if I go, I will try to go somewhere else. Where is the thing again? I forgot where it is. I forgot where it is. Is it here? Well, I don't even recall where it is. Where was it again? Okay, if I go here and Sister Thickness wrote, I never liked Hebrews or lights, not all of them, but the main ones online being retards. And she added, or should I say, Hebrew uh, and word lights. We have 10 people online right now. If anybody is a Hebrew Israelite or knows Hebrew Israelites, feel free to holler. Feel free to let them know that totally disagree with their claims of uh, black Canaanites. Now, they are indeed in survival mode, just like the black Muslims used to be, those who used to claim that Prophet Muhammad was black and the Arabs of the 7th century were black. You've noticed that they're not talking that stuff anymore, you know. Thickness Road, you're too nice to folks. Now, yes, there's some black Muslims who used to, act like that. And ultimately, outside of the English speaking world, in the French speaking world as well, they started talking that stuff. They're not talking it anymore. It lasted for a little while, sounded good for a little while. And now we can see with the Hebrew Israelites. I have shared a channel not long ago. And there's a guy, he has a very large audience actually. He has if I remember correctly, he has like more than 100,000 subscribers. And he's been putting, little snippets, little videos here and there to try to argue, try to prove this claim that the original Hebrews or original Jews were black people. Now, for whoever might agree with what Alex Jones said, it was re-uploaded by Zion Lex. Can you please let us know where's the evidence, where's the fact that Solomon married a bunch of black women? I have a little bit of time on my hands, so I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. For all these years, people have been making claims. They don't substantiate it. Now, online, it sounds good. It sounds good. But the majority of the people who claim those stuff don't have a very large listening audience. So the media don't pay much mind. Scholars don't pay much mind. But we've seen what happened when Canaan started talking that talk. He ended up apologizing. Kanye started talking that talk. He ended up apologizing. Kyrie did not really talk it like that, but we know what happened. He shared the link, and he has some particular views, which obviously shows that he is of that tendency, of that persuasion. He ended up apologizing. So we've been hearing for many years that we're dealing with scholarship. It cannot be scholarship if you guys end up apologizing. So should we set the record straight? Or all you Hebrews or lights, black Hebrews or lights, do you mind telling us how long you're gonna run that stuff? How long you're gonna claim this stuff? Are you planning on going all the way? With some things that you cannot document, some things that you cannot prove historically. I mean, it's a shame. It reminds me of those people who believed in the sovereign talks and ended up being fined heavily, or some of them even going to jail. And that's the Moorish doctrine. MSDA, Moorish Science Temple of America, and all the derivatives, all the derivative groups. We have so-called teachings, we have so-called science, we have so-called knowledge, and people end up in trouble following it, paying heavy fines, going to jail, apologizing for the in front of the world. And that's not fly. That's not what's up. As a people, we can do better than this. Now, for those who've been following for a while, how many times have you seen people claiming stuff and ask them to back it up, and they say, "Yeah, I get back to you." They never got back to me, and that's how it's been for many years. The level could go up with a good lie. Some people, they go so far, they get so much kudos, they get so much paper, but if it's not solid ground, it might be fly for a minute, but it's not sustainable. How long are we going to rely on something that's very, very fragile? Aren't we supposed to keep it solid? I mean, who's down with this? Why is it that, where are you? Where are you? I mean, and I'm not focused on the Hebrew Israelites. I'm not focused on the black Muslims who claim that the Arabs of the 7th century used to be black. I'm focused on anybody that claims to be talking about history and that is not in a position to back up what they're saying. So even with the so-called Kemetic people, like people who have been claiming that the Medu Neter has not been deciphered, for example, I spoke on that as well. Walter Williams issued a challenge. I replied to the challenge. You notice we don't hear anything. Some people have good talking points. Do you guys remember the Riparianites? It's been a minute we haven't heard them, have we? You have some platforms where it's kind of entertaining, but it's not information. And it's good to be entertained. It's good to chill, to relax, maybe watch a movie, go out someplace. But when are we going to draw the line between fiction / theology and history? So the Hebrew Israelites are going to try, but so far they've been failing. It is quite pitiful. They were so confident. And why were they so confident? Because they were quoting some theological literature. And some of them making wordplay. Now, the Zionist guy is the same one who said that Nyame is Yahweh. The linguistic gymnastics, the linguistic acrobatics. Some other people released a book. You remember the what is it called again? The University of Amen. Yes, the University of Amen. You remember that? But for the record, it doesn't exist anymore. You can look it up. The website is no longer hosted. Some people, rather than saying, okay, well, you know what, we were wrong, though it was stated that they were wrong in their response to the PhD in linguistics that critiqued the pamphlet. But they don't try to act like, okay, we were wrong about this linguistic part, but the rest is cool. And a very strange path was taken from some people who apparently earned PhD. They stood by and associated themselves with no problem with some plagiarism, which is a big L, a big fail. So sometimes people will prefer to, okay, let's disappear, let us disappear. We'll come back with something new. We'll come back with something else. I guess for them, it's like a honorable exit. You see, but that's how it is in life. Sometimes you try things out. Just I wouldn't expect that for some people who earn a PhD. Hey, we have JJ 7000. Greetings, brother.
Hey, Shalom, Aki. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. How about yourself, brother?
All right, man.
What about those
That's
black sites, brother? It's been
that's
a few weeks now.
huh?
It's been a few.
Yeah, it's been a couple
I haven't
weeks.
forgotten. What's up with the black
I'd had
Hittites,
a
brother?
couple. I'd had a couple other things happening, man. So I really forgot what I was supposed to come over here with some information. I haven't caught up with that brother yet, though. I did try,
All right, all right.
but I heard you on here talking about some Israelites failing you. See what it is?
Not
You're
failing
not
me, failing the
connecting.
whole world.
You're not connected to the right Israelites. I see.
Are you a Hebrew Israelite, brother?
Yes, I am. I am an
Oh,
Israelite by faith. 90% of me, by faith, I rock with that as my spiritual belief. I do have some belief that that the Negroes are connected to the Israelites. I'm not trying to push that doctrine on anybody, but you know, I see you kind of have a problem with Kyrie. Is that what's going on?
I don't have a problem with him. I have a problem with falsehood. Kyrie ended up apologizing like Nick Canaan and who was it again? Um, Kanye West,
Yeah.
for claiming these black Hebrews, black Canaanites, like the original Hebrews being black.
You
So yes, go ahead, brother.
you think they apologized because they were forced to? Do you
I
think?
I don't think they were
Uh,
forced to. Do you
uh,
think they were forced to?
well, for sure, to keep working and to keep doing business. Yeah, they were pressured. I mean, there's lots of forces that were coming against them. I don't understand why nobody gets mad when a guy come out and say like Africa Bambaataa that I'm a Kemetic. I'm Kush. Why is that not important? Why did that not shake up the world?
I don't get it. I mean, Africa Bambaataa. I don't know if he's Kemetic. I know he was down with the Nubians, but Africa Bambaataa has been accused of molesting
Uh-huh.
several people. And
Okay,
last
well
time I
let
heard,
me
he kind of
yeah, yeah,
flew
yeah,
to
yeah. That was a bad
England.
example.
Yeah.
That's a
Okay.
bad example. Let me use somebody else. If Michael Jordan came out and said, "Yes, I am with the shrine of Jabari Osaze's, the Shrine of Ma'at," God dang it, no commercial break, no breaking news, none of that would happen. But if Michael Jordan came out and said, "Yes, that's right, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh said, Barakatah, Kwam Yashar," he started speaking some Laquan Lajesh, you know what I'm saying? He started speaking some Hebrew Israelites, Barakatah, blessing you, the whole world would stop. Do you understand? The whole world will stop because they don't want you to know that some of us are the children of Israel. And we have a lot of people like yourself and different platforms that seem to be a little upset because the Israelites are in the spotlight. Go ahead, my brother.
No, not upset at all. Now, for example, let's say you okay. Do you consider that the Canaanites were black? And let's say from
Yeah,
2500 BC until I don't know, let's say modern time. So during the lifetime of Moses, somewhere around 1500 BC, you are of the opinion that they were black, right?
I feel the Canaanites were black. I mean, look, before you answer me any question, do you feel they were white?
Of course. I mean, we you
All
probably
right, so
seen, yeah.
all right, let me. No, go ahead, go ahead. So
Mm.
you feel they
You,
were
you,
white? Can you prove that?
well, yes, indeed, I can. Now, okay, I'll show
And then
you.
you see my article that I brought with me in
Yeah,
the private
I,
chat.
I had a little glance, but
You see, but you see, I brought an article with me. We can go over that too.
Yeah, I prefer
Let's
artifacts
say
only.
what say the Israelite snake god Yahweh. You see the article I got?
I've seen it.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna connect some
yeah.
things because see, Rob Bourne wants to say that why Huda, oh, those guys they believe in a serpent god. Well, guess
Rob
what?
Robon is a 5%er. He believes in Yakub and big head scientists, stuff like that. This is not factual. You know, Robon is all over the place.
Big
Robon is
head
wrong.
scientists.
Yes, yes, Yakub, the big head scientist. That's his lessons. You know, and there's some spookiness to it as well. And he's rolling with Garfield. Garfield being a fraud. Garfield claiming that he studied biblical history for the last 30 years, which means that he started when he was 9 years old. Garfield claimed that he has a bachelor's in history. Nobody's seen it. Garfield claimed that he received millions of dollars from family members, and you know he doesn't look or sound or behave like someone who ever had millions of dollars in his life. So I mean, it's like everybody's free to roll whoever they want, but
The
you know
lie
what?
continues with them guys,
Yeah, I
bro.
mean, you know, this is like a fraudulent dude. So if you could sign a fraudulent dude, you know, you're not gonna be reliable, you know.
Well,
But
you have a fraud that has frequently came on your platform. He goes by the name of Chris Harris.
why
He's
is
an
he a fraud?
embarrassment, bro.
Why is he a fraud? What did he say that was
He is a
fraudulent?
fraud. Look,
What did
let
he
me
say
tell
that
you
was
why.
fraudulent? Yes.
If you're gonna be getting in front of people and you're gonna do call out people for debates and people
Yes.
spend time take off to put their PowerPoint together. People take time to well, I'm gonna take off for the day so I can sit and watch the debate. Some of these debates people fly out to them. Some of them pay $20 to watch. And what this guy did was the most. You lose all credibility in if you're not in the eyes of other debaters when you quit in the middle of a debate and
Well,
then have the nerve to come back and try to challenge other debaters the next week or two. So he has no
okay.
credibility. But we ain't got
Well,
to make a show about him. Go ahead, man.
yeah,
What's this?
but the thing is that he has debated Pastor Bennett in the past. He actually shared the link to the first debate they had. Now, the second debate, the first round, they each had the first round, and he bounced, and later on he explained that they had some, you know, some personal issue that came up, you know. So people can accept it or not. It's fine. So yes, he did leave during the debate after he had the
Look,
first round,
do, do,
but.
do,
Mhm, mhm.
do you understand if JJ 7000 ever left in the middle of a debate or even not, that wasn't even the middle. He didn't master. I debated Pastor Bennett. I beat Pastor Bennett. You understand that?
Well, everybody always claim that they beat other people, but
Well, I'm just saying, well, he should have stuck it out.
but
Do you know they
okay.
wouldn't let me hear the end of it if I left for debate, bro? Do you understand that? Maybe you
Well,
don't.
let's look like Dr. Wesley Mohammed, PhD in Islamic Studies. He challenged me to a debate publicly. I accepted. We spoke about it on the phone. We talked about the time period, and then he backed down. You know, and nobody's giving him a hard time. You know,
Right.
nobody.
And they
So
should.
well, they should maybe, but the thing is this, you see, so maybe there's a double standard. Maybe it's because it's part of the
It is.
NOR and that they are known for being, you know, laying that murder game down if they feel like it's necessary, you know, whether it's men, women, or children. That's how they get down. I don't know exactly why, but you know, nobody's going around and saying, yeah, this guy, he backed down, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know why people trip about Chris Harris. I mean, we know what happened. For example, he destroys Zion Lex. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is
What
that
debate
if
was you at? What debate was you at when he destroyed Zion Lex?
oh
And
well
listen, when they wasn't even on the topic, he talking about he talking about some Deuteronomy, some compared to some other
uh,
Deuteronomy
uh,
taken stolen out of some. That
eh,
wasn't a topic of the debate. And
well
Zion Lex let him
brother,
lead him off to some old other topic. Come on, bro,
I'm
stop
not sure. I'm not sure it's in the same
it.
debate. Are you talking about the one where Chris used the same source as Zion Lex in order to destroy what Zion Lex was saying? You must have missed that. Then maybe you must have missed it.
No, what? Hey,
Yeah.
how about vocab Malone showing him that the Bible can be used for black liberation, and he went against that? Are you serious? That's nothing but an Uncle Tom
Hold
coon
on.
ass nigga in my
Are you
eyes.
saying that? Hold
A
on.
white guy had to tell
Wait,
him,
wait,
look at all
wait.
these blacks that use the Bible to liberate themselves.
Mm.
And this dude telling us to be an American patriot. Put down your spiritual beliefs, your Bible, and your ancestral. Kemetic, and all your other values, and become an American patriot. Do you know patriotism? These American patriots, these founding fathers, had your forefathers, your ancestors enslaved.
Well, you know, I mean,
And most of these forefathers were working off a Masonic order.
Do you know Vocab
Come on, man.
Malone? Do you know Vocab Malone?
Yeah, I know him.
You have communication with him?
Yeah.
Can you ask him to come on so I can give him that work?
So you can what? Yeah. I can set that. Well, look. Yeah, now I will feel better.
I give him that work every day, any day. You know, I mean, I heard him. He was amusing. He was really amusing. Yeah, and he's very arrogant with his. You know.
Yeah, he is.
But
most debaters are, bro.
Well, it's probably true, but Vocab Malone doesn't seem to me like he's acquainted. He's used to dealing with facts, with history. You know, I mean, everybody can read their religious literature. That's fine, but that's belief, you know. But you see, if we can backtrack a little bit about the Canaanites, and you were asking me if I can, you know, demonstrate why I consider that they were white, and I'm sure you probably heard about this painting from Beni Hassan. Now we do have the original, like towards the right, top right corner, and then second line on the left. That's the original painting. That's the condition that is left in, because that's very ancient. That's probably like 1300, 1400 BC. So that's 3,000 years old. But of course, many times we see the reproductions, and we have several examples of the reproduction. So when we look at the reproduction,
wait a minute, wait. Are they going into the land of Egypt, or are these people going to the land of Canaan? What we doing here?
Those people arrived in Kemet, or ancient Egypt.
So are you saying that Kemet is the land of Canaan?
No, not at all.
Well, you got the wrong pictures up, bro. This is a whole different migration, man.
If you allow me to finish,
these some Asians coming in, man. But go ahead.
Well, if you allow me to finish my sentence.
All right, go ahead, man. My fault. Go ahead.
No problem at all. We have time. Those people arrive in Kemet, and scholars, not all of them, but some scholars, describe them or label them as Canaanites.
Yeah.
So so you don't agree?
They say those are the would it be the Hittites? Those are like
don't start with the Hittites again.
No, we're not the Hittites. They call them Habaru people.
No,
like the Asiatic people. Those are Asians. What you got?
Okay, you know what? I'm going to show you some reference, because you know I might be making it up. And it's important for me to show and prove.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to show the book.
Let me see.
And people will see that it's something serious. So I'm going to share the screen first. Share screen. There.
No, but so are you saying that those people that you show them the screen are Canaanites?
I will show you who says they are.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute, man.
I'm not.
You talking about this guy? What's his name?
No. I just want to share the link. That's all.
Yeah, but I can't think of that guy's name. Michael
Jones,
Moore.
Alex Jones.
That Michael Moore?
Jones. No, it's Alex Jones.
Oh yeah, Alex Jones. Yeah.
You see, to whoever wonder how to see the video that I'm going to share. Actually, I'm going to share the link in the chat anyway.
You probably got to do copyright.
It's called White Semites, Black Awakening.
White Semites. Okay.
White Semites, Black Awakening. And actually,
Are you saying all the Semites are white, or just a group of them?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they are Caucasian.
Oh, no!
But you
don't put yourself in the box like that, man.
Okay, but I show and prove though.
Go ahead, man.
I've been doing that for years.
I feel you.
By going through museums.
I see your introduction when you had your afro.
Yeah.
What was that back in the 90s? When was that?
No, not in the 90s. I started my website in 2004.
Oh, okay. Now, you're not that old then. Well, okay.
I'm 40.
Okay, I'm 51, bro.
All right.
Well, yeah.
You got 10 years on me. You got a decade on me.
Yeah, I got a decade.
For years I've been going to museums, and we have the depictions of
I
the
have.
inhabitants of these areas. You know, whether it is Canaan, whether it is Arabia, whether it is Sumeria, and all these places, the Levant, Mesopotamia, and consistently from the standard of Ur in 2400 BC or 2500 BC. I mean, standard of Ur, let's say. Um, their phenotype is consistent. Now, here I will show you the book and the page for the Canaanites. Just how to find the right part. It might be a bit early on. Here we have
Hey,
Jehu.
hey,
Jehu the
brother Shark. Hey, you
yeah.
got some races in your comments. You know that you got some races out there.
Uh,
Because you got somebody lumping us all in one group, and I just hate Hebrew Israelites. You hate somebody because they don't have the same spiritual belief as you. You look. I have Muslims that's in my family.
no,
I
she
still
wait,
love them.
hold on, wait. She didn't say I hate Hebrew Israelites.
Yes, she did. I read
No,
it.
she where?
It's in your comments. I
Let,
look at the chat. Yeah. She
she
said,
said
I
I
never like Hebrew
yeah,
Israelites and
that's not
not
the
at
same.
all.
But that's not the same. I don't
Okay.
like liars. You know, whoever lies, even if they are comedic, I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? But let me just
Okay. Well, okay. So, all right. Maybe listen. I'm a truth seeker, lady. All right. Now, you look at me as a truth seeker and not put me in a box as some I don't like Israelites, and just listen to the information that's presented. Everybody ain't the same. All Christians ain't the same. All people who follow the spiritual beliefs of Kemet are not the same. Jabari, and Shaka are two different people. You see?
yeah, but
So,
Jabari is not making fiction history out of fiction, is he?
brother, yeah, he is.
All right. Well, let me just show
First of
you the
all,
book.
first, listen. How are you even connected with Kemet when the E marker didn't even start nowhere near that? It started in the east. I don't know why they so mesmerized with Kemet. The E marker didn't start there. It started in East Africa. I mean, but that's if you're going by the Greek. I mean, their upside down calendar, because the people that you study, the Kemets, right? The map should be upside down. So really, the E marker started in West Africa, and then they migrated east according to the map. But see,
All right.
y'all want to get out here. Oh, we're from West Africa and blah blah blah. West Africa. That's all I hear about Garfield and all these guys
Garfield is
up
a
west.
clown. Garfield is a clown. Garfield is this dude was doing credit repair like a few years ago, and now he wants to talk about history. And he's a Christian apologist. He's gonna get destroyed on December 24th, and then
You damn
you
right
know,
he is.
yeah. So you know, I'm not.
Jabbar
I'm not.
gonna light his back out, gonna blow his
eh,
back out. Yeah, y'all, because
she,
it's too much information proving.
and you know the sad thing is that Garfield the guy preparing the slide for him is the butler Reggie, who's been a 30-year-old butler carrying suitcases and being a butler for some scholars that we appreciate, but he doesn't have a platform of his own. He has to
Who,
go on other
Reggie?
people's platform. Yeah, get Reggie is a
Yeah,
butler.
man. Hey, hey.
Reggie is pseudo. Reggie said that Heru is Greek. That makes him pseudo by default. He even said that Heru is not the son of Asar. So what now we're talking about some little homies who just happen to be on some platforms with a large
Right.
audience. But this is the book here. You see, it says the
Okay, let me
Oxford,
check it out.
yeah, the Oxford Encyclopedia of Archaeology in the Near East. So safe to say it's legit. So
Mm-hmm.
now I'm just gonna play so we can see the page, but I'm just gonna show inside the book cover.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the editor, Eric M. Myers. This is volume 1, so people can look at the credentials of these people. And as we go to the page, first we're going to see some artifact which is in the Leiden Museum in the Netherlands. I actually went there and took the pictures myself. Here, you see, it says Canaanites, page 410.
Okay.
All right.
Now,
So,
what's going
so
on
we,
with? Let me see what they're looking like.
so
Okay.
yeah, those are Canaanites, and they're typically represented the same. With the what is called sometimes a
With the
mushroom
with the beard.
headdress. Yes, the beard and so on like that. But see, Canaanites, okay? Reliefs showing Canaanite vassals from the Memphis tomb of General Hohem-Heb. That's like after Tutankhamen, 18th dynasty. Okay, you see, Rijksmuseum in Leiden. That's the Netherlands, or Holland, as some other
Okay.
people say. So still says Canaanites, page 411. There it is. This is painting, or this is a reproduction of the
Mhm.
painting from Beni Hassan. These are the Egyptians. We can see the difference of this, the hue,
Well,
the skin
okay,
color.
wait.
See,
Which one's the Egyptians? The one one you
let me
point
go
to
back. Let
now?
me go back. Let me go back.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
those are the
Okay,
Egyptians.
all
You
right.
know. All right. Because what some people like to do, they like to show the Beni Hassan reproduction or original, and they just show those Canaanites, and because they are a bit tan, they are not as white as someone living in Sweden. They kind of want to play on that to give the people the impression that we're dealing with some, like black folks, like brown skinned people. But if we have both those Canaanites and the Egyptians, we can see that it's really, really
Uh,
not the same phenotype at all. So,
so
just wait. I'm almost done here.
yeah. Go
So
ahead.
so
Go ahead.
so yeah, you have the Egyptian on
I,
here at the front,
I
okay,
might have to go
and
out and come back in because somebody
yeah, of
calling
course.
me and then I can't
Oh,
hear. So
okay,
I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna come right back, family. I promise.
okay. Well,
All right.
okay. Feel free. So that's it. I'm gonna wait for the brother or anybody else who wants to join the conversation. But as you can see, brothers and sisters, I gave you the book. I gave you the page number. This is page 411. And here, what does it say? It says Canaanites. So it doesn't come from me. It's not a claim of mine. You understand what I'm saying? Now, what I'm at it, might as well look at the credentials of the editor of that book. Going back. So Eric M. Myers. All right. Not yes, Eric M. Myers. Eric M. Myers.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, brother.
Okay. Yeah, I can't hear you, so I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna go out and come back in.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. So Eric M. Myers. I've shared White Semites Black Awakening. So now I'm gonna share the Wikipedia page, whatever Wikipedia is worth. We're gonna see together what the credentials are. So White Semites Black Awakening, you have it in the chat. So even if you're not following the live stream as I'm speaking now, you will have it later on. Eric M. Myers, you have the link also in the chat. Let's have a look together, brothers and sisters. Let's see if this is my opinion, or let's see if it's someone with credentials. Eric M. Myers is an American biblical scholar and a biblical archaeologist. He is the Bernice and Morton Lerner Professor at Duke University. Myers has degrees from Dartmouth College, Brandeis University, and Harvard University. He has served as president of the American Schools of Oriental Research. He was honored with the 1982 Norwich Native Son Award. Myers is married to fellow biblical scholar and Duke professor Carol Myers. I mean, even his wife is a professor, but that doesn't have any incidence of his claim, but that's just for the record. That's just in passing. All right. So if I go back, I might have the page from the university. You see here, Duke University, Eric M. Myers. This is Duke University. I'm going to share the link. This is someone with credentials, definitely. See? I've shared it. You have it there. It's not my opinion. I'm not making it up. Now, what does it say here? Eric M. Myers, Bernice and Morton Lerner, Distinguished Emeritus Professor in Judaic Studies. You have his contact information. You have his email address from the university. You even have his phone number. All right. So I guess, I made my point. He's the editor, and he's surely not the only one, labeled those people as Canaanites. So if we take what this scholar has said, then in Beni Hassan's painting, we have Canaanites. And we have clearly seen that their phenotype is nowhere near the phenotype of a black person. And Hohem Heb, if I look at Britannica, Heb, it was surely set around 1300 BC. So I'm going to put Britannica. Yes, 1300 BC. All right. So now, Black Hebrew Israelites, show me some Black Canaanites. I'm going to refresh myself. I'll be back. I'm waiting. I've demonstrated so far. So
So let's look inside. Yeah, of archaeology itself. This is still the archaeology of the Arabian Gulf. Now we're going to the Oxford Encyclopedia of Archaeology in the Near East. I think this is volume 1. We will get confirmation. It is volume 1. So let's look inside. Right now I'm getting to the page. I've made a few notes quickly. All those people talking that black Semite, they won't be able to do so anymore. Page 410, Canaanites. Look at them, look at the features. Remember what we dealt with when it comes to the phenotype, especially the hairstyle, the beard, the nose, three main points. You can see the difference with the Egyptian on the left there. And he says Canaanites, relief showing Canaanite vassals from the Memphis tomb of General Heb in Saqqara, 18th dynasty. And it's from a museum in Leiden. Now on page 411, look at them. You can see the difference with the Egyptian. Look at the hairstyle. This is the Egyptians there. This is the Semites. Look at the phenotype. Look at the hairstyle. There's a clear and obvious difference. But it's just easy to claim black Semites, so it suits everybody and everybody getting paid lying to the people. You can't beat archaeology with some funny. Anyway, copy of a mural from a tomb of Beni at Beni Hassan. Semitic tribes people dressed in color strip costume. You can see who they are. It's obvious. Ask permission to enter Egypt. Permission dated to the 19th century BCE. That stands for before the Common Era, for those who didn't know. This is from a museum in Vienna. Now, Canaan was ruled by Egypt from at least the time of Thutmose III, early 15th century BCE. Although Egyptian control of the province was sometimes very loose. Now, the Oxford Encyclopedia in the Ancient Near East, Volume 3.
Alors j'étais plus bar au début et j'ai découvert les boissons et
Now, this time we're moving to page number 406. Malian, site located in Fars province, Iran. And what do we have here? Kaftari stamp. What do we have here? Crescent moon again. I'm showing you how from so many years ago, those people basically had the same phenotype, had the same representation. Look at the date, 2200 to 1600 BCE. That's the period from that artifact. That's the time period from that artifact.
I'm back like I left, son. I'm back like I never left. So I don't know if the brother will be back. I remember when he talked about the Black Hittites, and sometimes it's like that when you stop, dealing with some facts. and people are busy all of a sudden. Now I will show you the standard of war, brothers and sisters. We have 17 people online. If you know vocab Malone, let him know. I'll give him that word because people can holler if they want to. But let me show you the standard of war. Oh, they're just back. Welcome back.
My fault, brother. I
TV.
had to take a phone call, man.
All right.
All right, what I missed? You was talking about. We were talking about the white Canaanites, right?
Yeah. Let's put it this way, for lack of better words.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
So, can you show me some black Canaanites?
Some black ones.
Yes.
Well, go ahead and do your presentation right now.
I have already.
I didn't come here prepared to talk about the Canaanites, you know.
I wouldn't.
But
I wouldn't.
we can go to my article right now. Pull my article up and let's get into that.
Okay.
I can teach you about the
you know,
snake guy. Actually, I was going to do this presentation on Sarnetta, man, but this is a little bit of what I'm going to do.
Feel free to share your screen. I'll let you read it. I'm not going to read it. You know, I'm really looking for the.
No. I'm on my phone, so I can't share my screen.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when you're ready,
I sent it to you in the back. If you just share it,
I
I'll
know.
read.
I have it. I have it there. But, you know,
you must have already read it, huh?
No. I cannot read it.
Too many
fast.
facts. You see.
Too many.
Okay.
Now, how long have you been a Hebrew Israelite?
Since 2013.
All right, so that's 9 years.
That's that in 10 years, you know what I'm saying? 2023 coming amongst us.
All right.
I mean, I'm not saying it happened on January 1st, you know.
I understand.
Yeah,
but basically, it's not against you. But, it's not against you. But you've been a black Hebrew Israelite for 9 years, and yet you cannot even show me one depiction of black Hebrew Israelites or black.
Oh, you asked for Canaanites. Now we switching the question. Reggie said Hebrews and Canaanites are the same.
Reggie is a clown. Has he shown anything? Has he shown anything?
But your picture, wait a minute, but you show Afro-Asiatics. Those were Afro-Asiatics coming into the Hebrews. See what they trying to do, y'all? Is flip you up. He's doing the Hotep hopscotch. You can't do that with JJ 7000. Now put that picture back up there. You trying to be slick.
So, Eric M. Myers.
Is Eric M. Myers? Let me see.
Eric M. Myers is trying to be slick with us now. The professor emeritus is trying to be slick with us now.
Now, let me see what he say again. And then those don't look like Europeans that you were showing me, man.
Yeah, but but
they look like you and me, some light-skinned brothers, you know.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go in order.
All right, go ahead, man.
I'll put the part back up from the video.
Hey, look, I'm gonna invite you to come on my platform and build with me. Some of you guys get too comfortable in your own confines. I go on the road, man.
I have the same representation. But look at the date.
Go ahead. I'm gonna mute my mic.
No, it's okay. You can leave it on. But I let everybody speak, you know, and I think everybody can vouch for that.
Yeah, you do.
But because you asked me to put it back, I'm doing that right now.
Okay, fam.
So that's of course.
Let me see what's going on here.
Look at them. You can see the difference with the Egyptian. Look at the hairstyle. This is the Egyptians there. This is the Semites.
Right.
The phenotype.
So you're saying they look like you and me?
Yeah, those are light-skinned folks, man. So and the picture's in black and white, man. Come on.
Yes, it's true. I agree with you. It is.
Then why are you doing that, man?
Yes,
to the audience.
Yeah, but you see, brother, I'm glad you said that. That's the reason why, in the first place, I show you this.
Let me see.
I showed you, and you know anybody can just type in Beni Hassan Canaanites. I mean, I could share the link, but it's going to be very long because it's Google image. But here, you see, that's the search that I've put. I've put Beni Hassan Canaanites. So there, you do have the original. That's the original here. And you have it also, you have it here. But of course, because it's kind of damaged, even here as well. You know, that's when
Oh,
people try
wait.
to be
Okay,
slick.
hold up, shot. Now look
Yes,
at the people at the top. Now they got some dark ones that's holding them. You
and
see them? Then you
yeah,
got some light skinned
but
ones.
here we only have the Canaanites. But when you have the Canaanites in contrast with the Egyptians, like here at the bottom you have the Egyptians, you see it's not the same skin tone at all.
Okay,
So
wait.
that's where
Oh, you saying those
the
are the Egyptians at the top of the picture? Is that what you're
no
telling
at the
me?
at the bottom here. Here those are the Egyptians.
Wait. I'm talking about the far left, the top left picture that you got there. Blow that one up. The top
Okay.
left. Yeah, blow that one up.
This
Can
one
you do
here?
that one?
This
Yes,
one
yes,
here?
sir.
Well,
Yes.
that's a reproduction, but here.
No, come on, man.
But what
Now look
I
at
know
this, y'all. Because
why are you laughing, brother? Because
you
this
talking
is
about that's a reproduction.
it
The
is.
ones at the top. I didn't mean to yell, man.
No, you have the right to
I'm
laugh. It's
having
okay.
fun.
No, you
Okay,
have the
look.
right to laugh. It's fine. But
Okay. No,
but
no. Okay,
what's
we
your
can't
issue?
talk at the same time, so I'm gonna let you
Okay.
speak and then
No,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead. Go
ask the
ahead. Go ahead.
question.
My bad. My bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. Now who is these guys at the top with holding on to the antelope? Who are them guys?
The guy holding on the antelope, I would say that's one of the Canaanites. Yes.
All right. So no, come on. Are those whites?
So basically, you picked the one that's like darker than the others. But what about the other ones? Like the ladies at the bottom. Let's deal with them.
Let me
And
see,
even
Sean.
okay, let's forget about the ladies because some people might say, well, the ancient
No, we
Egyptian
can never
women
forget
they
about
were
the ladies,
depicted
brother.
lighter,
Let me see.
But if you go right at the bottom,
Uh,
those two guys here, what do they look like? What do they look like here?
them just the mixed multitude of the Canaanites.
Okay,
They
all
always
right.
cling on to us. Hey, Shaka, the Europeans gonna always cling on to the Africans and African Americans, man. They,
I'm
but
sorry.
look at the brothers leading the way at the top. See, you see that? You see that's what I see in
Here,
that picture.
here,
They leading the way.
here? Those
Yeah.
are Egyptians, brother.
No, I'm talking about the one behind with the antelope. I'm
This
talking
one,
about the
yeah.
one.
Well,
Yeah,
those will be Canaanites, if I'm not
that's what I'm
mistaken.
talking about.
But
See?
let's have a look at this one here.
Okay, let me go.
You notice it's not the same skin tone.
Let me see.
Here you see their skin tone is the same as the others, but not the same as the Egyptians. And that's
Okay,
what's important.
now look at these guys. See, you could place me in there. Now look at my skin tone. And you could put me if my hair grew like that. I couldn't be in that picture. And
All
let me
right,
see. Do they
okay.
got a beard? Let me see. Hold up. Some of them got beards. Yeah, some of them got beards, man.
And what
But
does the beer have to do with
I mean,
being
it
listed?
don't mean nothing too much. You don't.
Okay,
You
fine.
know.
But you see, that's why it's important to understand that these are reproductions. So it's good to know what the original is, and it's good to know what the reproduction is as well. You see?
Now, now,
So
why would
anybody
they
who
make? Why would they
Mhm.
make them blacker as time went on? Then what's the excuse for that?
Who made them blacker?
You said that first picture you and I looked at, and they had the darker Canaanites that was holding the
Well,
antelope. You
once
said that
again,
was a reproduction.
once again, we have reproductions. We have people
Mhm.
who looked at the original, and either themselves, the scholars themselves, or somebody that will be able to draw better, made a drawing, and that's what we call a reproduction. You understand?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So depending on who made the drawing, then the result would differ. Like let's look at this one here. You see, that's the result. But once again, that's a reproduction. So we have the Egyptians in the front, and then we
Hmm.
have the Canaanites, as described by Eric M. Myers. We have the
Yeah, see, Eric
Canaanites there.
Myers tripping because not. As you notice, they're getting lighter and lighter as the
Brother,
years go on. Now
brother,
this is typical whitewashing,
brother, why do you
right?
say that Eric M. Myers is tripping? He's
Is
not the
this
one who
Eric
made that
Myers picture?
reproduction. No,
I'm
he's
saying, is
not.
this okay? That's what. Okay, I got mixed up then. Because who
Yeah,
picture is this then? Who made
I
this
could.
one?
I couldn't tell you who made this one. Probably, if we click on it, if we look it further, we
Yeah,
might have some names.
but
But in the first place, I did show that book. I forgot the full title, but it's like the Oxford uh,
mm,
encyclopedia or something. But I've shown it. We can go back. It's in my video anyway. White Semites Black Awakening.
But family, look. So, but this is a more recent and newer picture, right? This one we're looking at on the screen.
This is a reproduction. And
right. Now go back to but if you go back to the original one,
the original. Okay, let's look at the original one.
go back to the original ones. You
So
can tell those. Yeah, that one at the top
this one
left.
here. Oh, top left. No, top left is not the reproduction. I'm sorry.
Okay,
it's not
let's
original.
go to the original. Okay,
yeah.
I bet.
So yeah. This one
right.
here, for example.
Okay.
This is a picture of the original one.
I mean, come on, look at them black froze, man.
No, those are not those are not afros. You see, those are called mushroom.
Oh, okay. That's a mushroom cut, right?
Mushroom hairstyle, and this is typical of those Asiatics or Amu or Canaanites.
Whoa! Wait a minute. Whoa. So you say Asiatics, so are Canaanites Asiatics? Now you put your foot in your mouth.
Where is Canaan, brother?
Are Canaanites Afro-Asiatic?
No. Where is Canaan located, brother?
Oh, you know where I messed up on that. You're right. Canaanites would be considered Afro-Asiatic. Go ahead. Okay, I messed up on that. I'm humble enough to admit that I messed up.
No, but it's fine. Now Afro-Asiatic, that would be the language family.
Language family.
Yeah.
Right.
So a Canaanite will not be Afro-Asiatic.
Okay.
As a
so
person,
correct me on this one then. One more thing. So Bantu would be linguistically a language type of family. There is no such group of people as Bantu. Am I right or wrong?
There's a group of people called Bantu, but we have the language also, Bantu language, so it's a language phylum or family. But we have some people who will have the ethnic group Bantu.
But Bantu didn't come up to that word didn't come up, was coined into 1859. Those ancient people was not calling themselves Bantus.
Well, we can ask them what they call themselves.
Come on, man. Okay, look it up right now. You can look it up right now.
Well, okay, but we're kind of digressing here.
All right, let's move on then.
For example, if we go even further than 1300 BC, there's a standard of war.
Mm-hmm.
That's a British Museum. I'm going to share the link in the chat. All right. Now, I want you to have a look at the date. Now, standard of war, UR. Now, or that's that's a how do you call it again? Okay, let's do it this way. Britannica.
Hey, y'all hit that like, share, and subscribe, man. It's
now
for
you
free.
see, or just so the people can understand.
Go ahead.
Ancient city, Iraq.
Uh-huh.
All right. So that's Mesopotamia, that's Sumer. All
right.
So Abraham is said to come from this area.
Facts.
Now, if we go back, we are told that this artifact is the standard of war, and the date here, production date 2500 BC. This is 1,000 years before what we've seen earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And if we look at this standard, this artifact, located in the British Museum, London, England. Hold on. My trackpad is playing up a little bit. I'm gonna have to refresh the page. Every time you want to show something, so it's like that. There it is. So here, what would you say they look like here?
These are Ugaritic people. Ugaritic. Those are Ugaritic. How you spell that? Ugaritic. Those are not.
Okay, maybe you try to say.
Are you saying that? Are you saying that those are? Hold on. Are you saying those people are from the land of Ur? Or are you saying they're Ugaritic?
Well, the British Museum, the British Museum said that this is the standard of war. So that's where it will come from.
Okay, the standard of Ur.
And here, to me, they don't look black.
Well, you notice a lot of times just because they took one picture of some people that live there, don't mean that describes everybody who lived in the land. We all know, just like your picture you showing me, you're saying that those are Canaanites are whites and they're coming into Egypt taking over. You're saying they took over, so Egypt had to be a melting pot just like anywhere else.
Well, I didn't say they were taking over. This is the biblical narrative, maybe, but that's one example here. The standard of war is one example, and in my video, White Semites Black Awakening, I show from the standard of war up until recent time, the inhabitants of Canaan, Arabia, uh, um, um, Sumeria or Sumer, let's say Sumer, Mesopotamia, the Levant, the Middle East, the Near East, they have the same phenotype more or less. It's a Caucasoid type of phenotype. It's not black at all, and it's consistent. And on top of this video, over the years, I've been going to different museums in many different countries, and whenever we have artifacts of these people, and I'm talking about the Levantine people,
Yeah.
they consistently have similar phenotype.
Let me ask you this question.
Hmm.
So, according to the narrative, right? You saying that maybe Abraham looked like that? Do you mean say a dude that looked like that went and got him a fine ass Ethiopian woman and married her? Was that was it? Abraham was a Cushite woman. Who did Abraham marry? Did he marry one of them fine chocolates? You mean to tell me? Let me blow this up. Blow this up for the people. One of them dudes who looked like that. You say Abraham looked like that, and
Well, I'm not saying that Abraham looked at it like that. What I'm saying is that this is what
no,
the
no, no.
people of
Hold on. That wasn't Abraham. Was that Abraham? That was Moses that got him one of them. So Abraham
brother,
married.
you
Hold up.
sound a bit confused
All the
about your belief
patriarchs, listen,
system.
all the patriarchs got them a fine African woman, man.
Says who? Says
And
who?
you mean to tell me they was if them guys could pull one of them fine African women,
Mm,
I know I got a chance. I mean, look at this
mm.
guy. He pull this guy
But
back up on the screen, man.
yeah, I have it there already. But who said they got some black woman?
Yeah, that's in the history, you know. A lot of our
Which
patriarchs,
which history, brother?
that's in the biblical narrative.
All right, so that's theology. That's not history. We don't have any records for that.
Okay, but now you okay, so now but you're trying to point to you're pointing to this guy and said, well, this is what Moses, Abraham would look like, because this is So, so now you're mixing. I guess you're mixing so-called history with theology as well.
No, when did you hear me say that Abraham looked like that? That's what you said. I never said that.
Okay, what's going on with this guy from that you're putting up on here? What was the purpose of pulling that up? Maybe I misunderstood you.
Well,
My apologies.
this is an original artifact. So it's
Okay,
housed in a museum,
yeah.
and it's those people who depicted themselves. The inhabitants of this area, that's how they depicted themselves. And
So,
throughout the, Mhm, go ahead, brother.
go ahead. Is this like a king sitting up there, somebody in power?
Well,
What
actually,
is?
there's a description that says that the largest person is actually the king.
Uh huh.
But everybody's is free to have a look at in their own time. I have another video that's shorter that's called Black Semi Shocking Revelation.
So,
Um,
there's a
no,
reason why I asked that question, right? And they were depicted. Okay, so will presidents be like kind of like a king here in America, right? And when they depict George Washington and they depict everybody who was mostly around him with all white, 3,000 years from now, do you think when they see that picture, they're only going to think in that picture there was only Caucasian people living in America?
so what are you trying to say right now?
I'm trying to say, just because that picture you got up there depicting a whole bunch of European looking people doesn't mean that the whole land of was populated with just people who look like that. That was my
All right.
point. Go ahead, Frank.
Well, we can do conjecture. We can even say there were Chinese people there, or Chinese looking people there. But that's conjecture. Here we have the facts. We have the evidence.
But
So
but the, but those people from the last people that you showed us were not Europeans. Those were Asiatics. But you saying the Canaanites. So it's two different groups. Okay, how about this? There's two different groups out there saying two different things. If you got a picture saying the Canaanites, then I can pull up a picture of that same group of people. And they call them Habaru and they call them Asiatics. Have you ever seen that?
well, be my guest. Please show me.
I'm not on my computer, man.
All right.
So
Well,
I have to do that.
whenever you're ready. Whenever you're
Okay,
ready.
yeah,
But
yeah, 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 yeah. I'd like you to come over to the
it's been
Lions
eight.
Den sometime and build with me.
It's been 18 years
Hmm.
that I've been online,
Yeah.
and I always heard people say, like there's a French so-called professor
Uh.
who showed a drawing of the Nubians,
Mm,
Dr. York's organization. And
right.
this is a drawing of Prophet Muhammad.
Oh,
So,
okay.
so the drawing is not contemporaneous, of course. It's been made during the lifetime of the Nubian organizations.
Right.
And that French so-called Pan-African scholar, so-called Kemetic scholar, he said this is a portrait of Prophet Muhammad made from descriptions of his companions. And he even added that he has a portrait of Prophet Muhammad when he was even younger. It's one of the most ridiculous stuff I ever heard in my life. And that so-called professor, because he claims to be a professor, I'm not even aware of any of his credentials of him being a professor, but he's what people will label Kemetic, you know. So
Mm.
even when Kemetic people are on some nonsense, you know, I don't agree with it.
Back
You
them
know what I'm
up.
saying?
Right. Right.
And so I'm used to people claiming stuff, but when it's time to show and prove, I don't see anything. You know. And Zion Lex,
Uh-oh.
he has actually put the video of Alex Jones saying, "Well, it is a fact that Solomon got married to a bunch of black women." So I'm like, how is it a fact? What is the record? What is the reference?
Now, you know you barking up the wrong tree when you run around talking about that Zion Lex. Now,
Why?
you think you ready for that type of smoke?
Xilex doesn't want it. It's not the first time that I highlighted some of his inconsistency, and I don't have anything against him on a personal level, you know. But if he has some, I mean, if he has some record, then let us see it. But when he debated with um Ngozi, I think he showed Sargon and
Oh,
basically stated that Sargon was a black man. You know,
yeah,
it's like
yeah,
people showing, you know, the maybe you've seen the archers, the Persian archers.
yeah.
Some of them are brown, or people might label them black. But I went to the Louvre Museum where that original when those origin where those original paintings are,
Mm-hmm.
and the majority of the archers are actually white skinned. It just happens that we have a few that are brown, or if some people want to say black skin. You know what I'm saying? So actually, the people who are pulling tricks, it's not us. It's not us Kemetic people.
So
It's
let
the
me
Abrahamic believers. Go ahead, brother.
let me ask you this, there. I mean, so those Canaanites that you showed me, those white Canaanites that you said, hey, those
No,
white
it's
Can.
not me.
So
It's
what
it's,
were
it's
they
Eric
doing?
M. Myers.
Oh, okay, Eric and Myers. What were they doing when are they leaving? Or are they coming? Are they going into Kemet in that picture?
Well, we will have to read the text, but I would say that they were coming, that they were bringing tribute. That's what I would say.
Oh, okay. Because you have the Egyptians in front of them leading the way, and they're not in chains. They're not in, they're not. They look like they're in the distress. So, is something going on? Are the Egyptians leading them into the land? Are you saying they're leading them to pay taxes? That's what you think?
I would say they are bringing tributes. Now it would take time to go through the glyphs, but this is something
Mm.
that scholars are very familiar with. Beni Hassan. There's some other stuff from Beni Hassan that's quite significant. And I think that's where the focus should be for all of us to look at the record and see what the records say. But the issue is that people usually deal with their theology and they go by what their theologists say. Just like earlier when you mentioned that, either Abraham or Moses got with some Ethiopian or black woman.
Yeah.
That's theology. Historically, we don't have any record of that.
Okay. Well,
Just like the slavery in
let,
ancient Egypt. That's
yeah.
not backed up by any fact whatsoever. But go ahead, brother.
Okay. Let me ask you something. Do we have historical facts of Neymar?
Nimrod, you mean?
Neymar
The, the,
means
the, the,
means the first pharaoh of Kemet, the
oh,
first
Narmer. Oh, Narmer. We
Neymar,
do.
Namar. I'm from the
Narmer,
Midwest, so
yeah,
maybe I
no, no,
said it a
no
little
problem, no
different. Yeah,
problem. Narmer, Narmer. We
yes.
do have a
We
historical
don't have
record
his.
for Haiti. Yeah,
We
we
can't.
have. It's called the Narmer Pilot.
I need to see a body. I need to see a. Where is he buried?
Well, no, I did
You
not ask
see,
about now. Um, I don't know where his body is.
that's what I'm talking about. There's no proof.
No,
But
no,
see,
no, but
the reason
chill.
why I say that, brother,
Hmm.
and it's all sincerity. This is the same type of questioning line of questioning that the Kemetics and the Nubians come to us. Well, where's Moses' body? So we say, well, your very first Pharaoh, your very first king, or whatever you want to call him, who unified Upper and Lower Egypt.
Yes, yes.
We have no body for him. We can't
Yeah.
find him buried. There's no tomb,
Mm, mm.
nothing. So
But
does that mean that he did or did not exist?
yeah, but you know, and I'm sure you would agree that I never asked you for the body of Moses or the body of any of your patriarchs, did I?
When I'm doing stuff like that, I'm talking to the ones that do
I
that.
understand. I understand.
Yeah.
But the things that you see, whenever we talk about historical record, we don't mean the body of the person, you know. Now, really, what we're talking about, and if we're talking about contemporaneously, then it will be an artifact that is during the lifetime of the person that we're talking about, you know. Because even for Jesus Christ, people love to say, well, we have some contemporaneous record, but really it's not contemporaneous, or let's say it's not during his lifetime, because they like to be on the uh give and take 10 years, give and take
Mhm.
50 years, give and take 100 years. We don't even have any record of Jesus during his lifetime. All the people that I mentioned, oh, we have Flavius Josephus, we have Tacitus, we have so and so. That's not during the lifetime of Jesus. So for Moses, we don't have any records during his lifetime. But for a good part of the pharaohs, a great deal of the pharaohs, we do have records during their lifetime. You know.
Not
So
your, but not your first one. We don't have nothing on him.
once again, we do have the Nama palette. It exists. It's, if
That's
I'm
just a
not
but
mistaken.
that's just a carving of some guy holding some Semitic guy. Matter of fact, that guy that he's holding up is a Semitic. That you're trying to say all the Semitics are white? Semitic
Okay,
is
okay,
tied in with being
okay.
Afro-Asiatic.
Can,
So
can,
how are
can,
you gonna say that
I,
Semitics are white?
I think
I'm not.
I think you're confusing the language phylum with the
Okay,
population.
maybe okay. So people. So are you saying that everybody who spoke a Semitic language would be white? Ptah is a Semitic word. Ptah does not come from Egypt. So
What
the
does
people who spoke this language, are you saying that
now?
they're
Hold on,
white?
wait. Who says that patah is a Semitic word? Who said that?
I got the source for that. Ptah.
Okay,
It's,
okay.
it's not. It's not. It's not Kemetic or whatever you want to call it.
Who said
Kemetic
that?
is the people who live in Egypt. See. Here's the thing. You guys are not teaching what dynasty you're referring to when you talk about Kemet in Egypt. Y'all want to put on this perception that every pharaoh that ruled Egypt was black. As a matter of fact, Ramses III, he come from Uganda.
Brother, no, brother, you're not serious right
Ramses III comes from Uganda.
now. Okay,
Did you know
says
that?
who? Says who?
Hey, listen, I got the sources and reference for that. You
But
and then
okay,
look,
well,
then
since
they
you
got
have,
a Ramsey up. Hey, hold up, they got a Ramses up there. They got blonde hair. Now, which Ramsey was that?
can you
Who
show
was
me
that one?
Ram? Can you please show me Ramses with blonde hair?
Oh my god.
You making
Oh my
claims
god.
that you cannot back it
So
up.
are
Now
you saying that every pharaoh was what? Was all what?
well, this one here is Amenhotep III. That's Akhenaten's father. That's King Tut's grandfather. To me, it looks black. And I have a video called Black Ancient Egyptians and another one called Black Ancient Egyptians Part 2. So I would say from Narmer until the time when we were reaching the 25th dynasty, the majority were black. Of course, we had the Hyksos who ruled. They did not rule the whole territory.
Oh wait. So
The
wait. So what? Do you have any depictions of the Hyksos?
um,
It's that
I
one.
I
It's the one you showed.
I
But you said the Canaanites. Pull it up and let's see any depictions of Hyksos. Pull up
I
on your screen.
I don't think that I have some depictions of the Hyksos. We have records of them with their
And
names
what?
and so on, but
So
I don't have any. Maybe
what
there are
dynasty
some.
did? Oh, I'm sorry, man. I didn't mean to.
No, feel free, feel free.
What dynasty did the Hyksos rule in Egypt?
I'll have to look it up because um They
Yeah.
ruled before the 18th dynasty. So I
They
would
ruled
say,
before.
roughly, I would say probably between 1700 BC and 1500 BC. But
Right.
it's best to
Because
double check, really. You know.
the 25th dynasty put them out, right?
No, no, no,
Taharka.
no, 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 no. That's the 25th dynasty. That's like 700 BC.
Oh,
So
700 BC.
yeah, yeah,
Oh, that's a long.
Taharka.
Yeah, that's way off then. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The one who we will be the 18th dynasty, the beginning of the 18th dynasty. Amose, Amose's family. He's the one who expelled them, and chased them all the way to the area that we will call Canaan today.
Let me
So,
ask you a religious question.
mm,
Did Africans believe in one creator, one all, or do they believe in and they believe in many gods? Or do they? How can I put it? Like say if they made a snake shrine, they would just really. How about like a fish? And fish really fed the community, so they make something to a fish, and this is the way they were expressing their appreciation for God. But they didn't think that this fish was the creator. But we, as a with a Eurocentric eyes that we've been trained to look at, we would say, well, no, they worship a fish god. When all actuality, that was just their expression of the all of how he helped them with their fishing, with their community. You see what I'm saying? So I'm saying, and I'm gonna put it out there, and from what I researched, that all African cultures believe in a one all creator, a creator. They may not give it a name like the Israelites call him Yahweh or Yahweh, but they all believe, even Kemetic, they all believe in the one, the all, the creator. There is something greater than themselves. It ain't that we are the gods and all that type of bullshit. You can be an expression or made in a godlike image, but you are not the God. You are not the creator. And we got people pushing out here. We need to put down our African spirituality, our religious our religious views, and we should just become an American patriot. That's the most ludicrous thing I ever heard in my goddamn life. Any
you know,
black man that runs around and say we should give up our African spirituality, our total essence of being a black man, and go and be up under the regime of patriotism and George Washington and slavery is a goddamn fool. And that's what Chris Harris presents to the table.
no, no, you cannot put that on him. You cannot put that on him. That's not why. I never heard him say
You
that.
seen it. That's why you already knew where I was going with it.
I never heard
That's
him
your
saying
guy.
that. I mean, I
Okay, if he
think you're
said that, is he right or wrong? If he said that, is he right or
no,
wrong?
but
Now come
if
on.
we can make the world over if we start with ifs. I never heard him say that. I never heard him having an issue
Yeah, that's
against African spirituality. Now, your
yeah.
question is, did Africans, believe in one God and so on? It's
But
very difficult
but
for me. If
before I talk to that, I need an answer from you, man. Cause look, I tell my best friends or my friends the truth. I don't sugarcoat it. Like, bro, you wrong. That's not right. And you should be able to tell this man to stop going around and trying to tell the conscious community that we don't need African spirituality. We don't need the Bible. We don't need
but
Abrahamic faith. We need to
I,
be an American patriot.
I never
I
heard him
pledge
say
allegiance
that.
to the flag of the
I never,
United Goddamn States of
no,
America. Come on, man.
I
It's
never heard
cooler
him
than
say
before.
that. And the thing is that, and I think you have his contact, so he might even hop in. Sometimes he
Yeah.
hops in,
Well,
but
just the thing with this guy. They call me, him and Sarnetta. They want me to debate him. Then when it's time to do the debate, he runs. He's wasting my time, and he trolls me everywhere I go on every platform nowadays, man. Look, he's trying to build his name back up to glory, and it wasn't even gloriful at first anyway. But ever since he ran for Pastor Bennett, no debater really respects this guy. And so I
well,
let him know that my name is hot
well,
right now, and he's
let
trying
me
to tie his name to mine.
listen. I respect him because he's researching. Like I said, he had the upper hand. He had the upper hand against Zion Lex. It's a matter of public record. Besides what I'm saying, Senator put out a poll, and he asked the people who they think was the winner. And I think I had a screen capture on my community page on my YouTube channel.
Brother,
And the majority of the people felt like Chris Harris won against Zion Lex.
brother,
Hmm.
let me tell you something. Sarnetta audience is like him, very biased. Sarnetta tells his people to throw tomatoes at JJ 7000, and they listen to him. And you want that same audience to judge me in a debate? I told Sarnetta, if I'm gonna do a debate on it, I want 3 judges. 3.
But
I
you
don't
know,
want listen. That's like if Chris Harris came over and debated Zion Lex on my platform, who would the audience vote for? Who do you think? Who do you think?
probably for Zion Lex.
Okay, so now that you just said that you cannot use that poll as a
Because
measuring stick.
yeah, but
You
the
can't.
reason the reason is you are Hebrew Israelite, so most likely you will have more Hebrew Israelites on your channel.
Exactly.
But
This is why
but
Chris Harris.
is Sanad channel a Hebrew Israelite channel?
No, it is not. It
Is
is
it
strictly against Israelites. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh, I wouldn't say it's strictly against Hebrew Israelites because for the last few years I've heard more Hebrew Israelites on Sanada's platform than any other groups, and
And you know why? Because he's trying to discredit them and make a fool out of Israel. That's to make it show.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. But the thing is this: like you saying that Ramesses is from Uganda.
Yep.
If you say stuff like that, people are not going to take you seriously.
B1B1A.
No, that's a marker, a genetic marker.
Yep. That's where he started
But
off. That genetic marker should lead you to where his origins and beginning is, right?
you know,
Yeah.
you remind me of a brother. Um, a brother that used to be here on a regular Afro Asiatic. That was one of his usernames,
I know
and he
Afro
would.
Asiatic.
Well, there it is, and he laughs. He loves to talk about E1, B1B, E1, B1A, and all this stuff. But there's another thing that you stated. I forgot now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just before you said that Ramesses is the Ramesses was from Uganda. There's another thing you said that really
Mm-hmm.
surprised me. But anyway, I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
But
So you don't want to show my article? Maybe I come on here and do a presentation on it. We set up a plan date.
yeah,
You see? Yeah.
but you will have plenty of articles, and sometimes the person who write the article might have the same belief system or same philosophy, same religion. Um, and what our people like to do to try to validate their belief, their religion, is to pick here and there what somebody says. And Xilex has done that by showing what Alex Jones said. Alex Jones,
Mm-hmm.
the same guy who said that, what's his name? Trevor Martin.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
He was talking
like,
shit
like,
about Trevor. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
You're right.
saying?
You're right.
But
You're right.
here, when it's time to validate a claim of blackness of the Hebrews or lights, that the original Hebrews were black, then okay, now we can quote him. And the funny thing is that
Well, I
when I made
would
my
you like
video,
to
I said,
debate me? Would you like to debate me on that topic? We can go on Sarnetta.
what do you want to debate about? The blackness of the Hebrew Israelites?
The blackness of Hebrew Israelites, and then you said that the Canaanites, original Canaanites, are white. So that would be a great topic.
I wouldn't mind debating it, but you know, I don't think you will go far with that claim.
That well, you have to just figure that out when you see. A lot of people don't have. A lot of people think they got a plan until they get hit. That's what Mike Tyson said.
Everybody have
So
a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Well, you know,
yeah,
hey, you want
that's
to
what
have
Mike
sac,
Tyson said, man.
you know,
So
if
I'd have
if
been in the ring with Polite, Tazaria, Pastor Bennett, Black Jesus Minister, Khalil Omani.
okay,
I mean,
well,
all this whole roster,
what
Nepal,
why don't you call Sanders now and ask
Tahuti.
him?
Hey, Tahuti. You know Tahuti?
I know him. I know him. I don't know him personally, but I'm familiar with him. Oh,
Yeah.
let me just greet the new member that we have, Jason Edwards. Greetings to you. I will read your comments later on. But thank you for joining. Now,
Yeah, he said,
do do,
yeah, he just, yeah, go
mm,
ahead.
do you want to call Sanada to ask him if this is something he will agree with?
Yeah, I just got off the phone with him, like, right when I jumped off with you. And,
Mm,
I mean, yeah, I got access to how now a minute. Now,
mm.
I think we should do this on my platform because everybody's gonna be
Oh,
rooting for the comedic guy. See, you want the fan support, but I take that
but
risk and go over there
you
and win me some
but
new fans. You know what I'm saying?
hey,
People,
you
see,
said you want to debate
I,
on Sanetta, and now you want
oh
to
yeah,
switch
I
it to
said
your
that, but I just
platform.
thought about it. So they gonna automatically vote for you because you Kim it anyway. But I'm still gonna bring out my information, and plus that'll give you a chance to people to see you, and you can promote your channel. You know what I mean?
But I don't know if it's
And
something
listen,
I
once you
don't
get in the debate with me, brother,
I don't know if it's something he would like to do because he's very
yeah.
close to Reggie, and I've been labeling Reggie as a butler and a clown and a fraud and a fake. So Reggie will
Oh,
probably tell him, "No, don't have him on. He's not
yeah,
relevant."
yeah.
You know?
Kick him out, sign that on.
Yeah,
Kick him
you know what I'm
out.
saying? So I don't think Sanetta would agree.
Hold up.
Because
Or you can debate Reggie. I could set that up. You will have more fire and passion
Reggie.
with that debate than you would me.
I mean, what would I? I mean, what would I debate Reggie about?
I thought y'all didn't agree about.
Yeah, but I mean, he's pseudo. He said Heru is Greek. That makes him pseudo by
There
default. You
you
know what I'm
go.
saying? And I mean, and if he wants to challenge me on something, he's free to do so. But personally, I don't even have any challenge for him. He's just pseudo. I'm not pseudo.
Okay.
So
Well, who would you debate over there?
well,
Jabari?
honestly, I don't.
Oh yeah,
Well,
I debated Jabari before too. You
yeah,
see?
but no. Well, usually I don't really have a list of people that I want to debate. I like to have discussions like we do now. Now, if people
Okay.
want to take it further and we want to
Right.
have a formal debate with a moderator and equal time,
Right.
if the topic interests me, then I'm like, I might be
Yeah.
like, why not? But what we need more over debates is records,
Okay. I
artifact.
can. If you don't want to
Like,
have a debate, I can set you up a discussion
hmm,
with damn
because
near
because
anybody, bro.
you see so far after the 9 years of you being a Hebrew Israelite, you cannot even show me any black Canaanites.
That is. Hold up, bro. Why is that my job to show you a black Canaanite when
And
I
I
mean
love that question.
I don't follow Canaanite customs and
And and
laws and
and I,
statutes and
and
I
I,
mean,
and I
but
love.
I know they black. I know.
I,
Okay, listen.
how do you know they're black?
So, are you saying that the Jezebites are they whites see? Are you saying the people that live in the land of Canaan are Canaanites? Right? You call those people who live in this land. This place is not. It's just like America, bro. We are Americans over here, and we got black, we got Chinese, we got Asian, we got Mexican, we got Africans. And then you see one picture of some people on the wall, and you're gonna tell me that that's all the people that live in that land?
Well, brother, that's
Come on,
conjecture.
man. We can't do
You
that, man. That's
that
called lookership
no, it's not.
99,
No,
not even 101, man.
no, it's not lookership. It's called archaeology. It's called scholarship because you can claim, okay, just like in America, we have several ethnicities. Back then in Canaan, we had several ethnicities. Then feel free to show and prove.
All right, you know what, man? I'm finna leave. I'm finna go get an article showing these black Canaanites so you can be happy.
Now,
All right?
now, now, you said something very interesting. You said you're
What
gonna
is
get
it?
some article
Yeah.
showing black Canaanites, but an article, unless there's depictions, it will not show us anything.
Okay. It's gonna be depictions. Now you showed me some cartoons, some black and white cartoons, so
No,
that don't
brother,
really hold no weight. But hey, hey,
brother,
now
brother, you have to be
go ahead,
fair.
man.
You have to be fair. What I've shown you is the original Beni Hassan. It's a painting
Yeah.
that's actually dated from 1300 BC. And I've shown you some reproductions, and one of them
Mhm.
there's reference for it on that book edited by Eric Myers. And there's also reproductions that we have seen on Google Image.
Right.
But it's not a cartoon that I've shown you. I've shown you the original and the reproductions. So you should
So
be fair.
so you're willing to go out on the edge of the building and say that the original Canaanites were white, and what was the other one? And are you saying the original Israelites are white as well? You better not jump out there and do that.
Well, can you show me Israelites in history?
No, I'm asking you. Yeah, I can. Yeah.
Be my guest. Show me then.
I can show you African tribes. Right? Hold on, let me get my notes real quick, man. You dealing
Okay.
with JJ 7000. You ain't dealing with the average Israelite. See,
Okay.
you know, I study Black African history. You see, I ain't one of the ones on the corner. I ain't one of the ones on the corner that be getting out there, see, and be talking about, Africans ain't this and that. I'm also getting into science. What I need y'all to do is go out there and get Darwinism under the microscope by PhD James P. Gills. Put this in your book collection, and you can always stump down pseudos like Unc West. But anyway, this guy, the understudy Chris Harris is running around here talking about, you sound like him. You've been listening to him a little too long, So I'm going to go on and get into...
It's
Go
fine
ahead,
if you
man.
don't agree with what I'm saying, but so far I've shown some artifacts. I've given some reference, but you haven't shown any artifact whatsoever.
What you talking about? About the Canaanite? See, I didn't come on here. The title of this show ain't "Come and Prove and Show and Prove the Canaanites."
You're correct. You're correct,
All
but
right.
you've been a Hebrew Israelite for 9 years. I would expect that you will have something that you could show.
I mean, why should I waste my research on Canaanites and they ain't teaching the law, statutes, and commandments?
Brother,
right?
brother, you consider yourself a Hebrew Israelite. So when we're talking about Canaanites, that's the Hebrews, right? That's the Israelites, right? Am I wrong?
All right, now hold on. Let me say you something. Now, see, I deal with the Havilah and the Tutsi Hebrews. Now, this is by Professor Yachanan Warjari, right? Now, as a Hebraic organization, Havata developed a specific program. We focus our efforts on the Hebraic remnant of pre-Talmudic tribes of Israel, isolated on the other side of the rivers of the Ethiopia, according to the Zephaniah prophecy, Zechariah 3 and 10. The historical and geological land pointed out by the Zechariah prophecy has been identified by prestigious learned Jews and Talmudists. You see, like Rashi Shalomo ben Yisafat as the White Nile Basin. The biblical name of that land is Havilah, according to Genesis. But let me get it to some of the tribes, Shaka.
According to Genesis.
Yeah. Let me get into some of the. I want you to. This is what I want you to start in your research, man.
But
hold up.
That's not history when you say according to Genesis, right?
Okay, well I'm gonna give you some. I'm gonna give you this. Now, the first tribe that I need you to go look up is the Sefwa Wusa of Ghana. Now, I'm gonna spell that for you because I might be pronouncing it a little bit wrong. And these are some of the ones who claim to be Israelites. All right. So pull this up. SEFWI.
They are claiming to be Israelites.
Right, you said you wanted me to give you some of the ones who's claiming to be Israelites, so you would have to disprove them, right? So listen, I gave this list, this total list to Craig, what's his name? Chris, I hate the milkman Harris.
But brother, right now, there's an anachronism going on right now.
Let me just ask you this before you throw me off track and you don't want your audience. Is the Katsina is that the name of a tribe in Nigeria?
I'm not familiar with that name, but maybe.
How about, is the Igbo a name of a tribe? Would that be a name?
It's pronounced Igbo. We don't.
Okay, now
it is the name of a tribe. Yes.
Okay, now would you tell Chris Harris that the Igbo is the name of a tribe? Because he asked me, he said, "Please tell me any tribe that you can say that word Israelite." You know how he talk? He wants to be proper and all that type of shit. All right, so if I name the Igbo, am I naming a tribe? Say that one more time. Yes.
Igbo is a tribe indeed.
All right. Now, if I name the Zafa,
brother,
hold on.
Before you go through all the
lists,
bro,
listen. You trying to do damage control. I'm gonna say this and I gotta go. If I say the Zafim Ibrahim, is that the name of a tribe that live in the Malagasy Republic? If I say the Lam, is that the name of a tribe, Chris Harris? That's Timbuktu, right? If I say the B'nai Ephraim, the sons of Ephraim, and these people are saying they're Israelites that live in goddamn Nigeria, and then they're Yoruba, is that not a tribe? How about the Ewe tribe, the EWE of Ghana? Is that not a tribe, Chris Harris? How about this, the Sefwa Wasasa of Ghana, the Limba of South Africa, the Rusat of Zimbabwe, all of these, the Abaya of Uganda, the Tutsi of Rwanda, the Beta Israel of Ethiopia, and the Falasha. And with that being said, I'm out of here. I named several tribes. This dude had to disprove it. Hold on, listen. He has to prove, before I go, I'm going to say something. He has to prove that the Spanish and Portuguese in 1492 went to all these tribes and converted them. Other than that, Chris, you don't have no debate. That's why you ran. You weak. And you got people like you, this brother respecting you, you should lose respect from any man that runs from a debate if you call
I
himself a
respect
debater.
Chris Harris. He makes a lot of sense. Now you see, brother, you gave me names of tribes. None of them are from Canaan.
That's not me and his argument. That's not me and his argument. I'm showing you. See, well, I got an objective when I come on different platforms to go at my foes and also build with the person who's on there. Now, you're one of his fans. You know, we can go to Derek Lane. We can go to the Eldad Hadanite of the ninth century among the
But,
numerous witnesses of the Batusi.
you know,
Hey,
you know.
you let me come on and do a teaching. That's what you do.
Mm.
And no,
But
I'm not interrupted. And now I want you to say one more thing before I go, and I'm gonna calm down. Did I not name tribes? Yes or no?
you name tribes who have a religion. What does it have to do with
No.
the
Did they have a
Canaanites being
religion?
black?
Well, hold up. No, they're not saying they have a religion. They're saying that they're Israelites.
All
See,
right,
what y'all want to do is saying because we're Israelites that's a religion. No,
but
that's just
brother, are
so
you
so
sure?
so you
Are
have
you
to
sure?
disprove these people.
Are you sure that those people claim to be Canaanites or
So,
descendant of Canaanites?
wait a minute. I'm not talking about Canaanites unless because you're saying Canaanites are white. So we're playing wordplay here. These people are not saying they're saying they're descendants of Israelites. Now, if
The,
you want
the,
to say Israelites and Canaanites are the
yeah,
same,
you know
then we can look into that. We
those
can look
people
into that.
those people actually claim to be Jewish.
No,
That's
no,
what they are
no. They claim to
claiming.
be Israelites, not Jewish.
All right. Okay. Now,
See,
okay. Now let me just say this for the record.
didn't I just say
If no, hold on,
pre-Talmudic?
wait. If I
That
claim,
says, hold on.
yeah,
As
but
a Hebrew
wait. If you don't mind,
organization,
if you don't mind, just let me see this. If I claim to be Russian, will you believe me?
if you say you're Russian, that
Hmm.
means you were born over there. Yeah, sure.
But
Yeah.
will you But will you believe me if I claim that?
Yeah, if you say you were born and if I say I'm American, would you believe it?
Yes. And you were born in America,
Right.
right?
Right. Now,
But
these people,
I wasn't born
but
in
you're trying
Russia.
to say, bro, I know you don't want me to talk and you're trying to
No,
protect
I want you
Chris.
to talk. It's
But,
okay. Feel free. Feel free.
okay, listen, bro. Now, I want you to say, now, if I sit here and lay down all these names or those tribes one more time, because I'm going to record it for him. He can't hear you here. Can you say it loud so he can hear it? So when I send it to him, because he don't know the definition of a tribe. Could you say yes? Those are tribes, JJ? Because he don't think I named them tribes. Now he will have to prove that all these tribes that I named that in 1492 the Spanish and the Portuguese went over to Africa and converted all these people to be Israelites. But keep in mind, right? The Spanish and Portuguese were kicking out people who were practicing laws, statutes, commandments because they wanted to convert them to be Catholics or Christian, and they would burn these people to the stake in front of them if they didn't convert. And then if you couldn't pay a tax, and you were sent to San Tome, your children were to be slaves, right? So then you mean tell me after the Spanish and Portuguese do all that to stop people from being an Israelite, they're gonna go over to Africa, right? And then start converting people to be Israelites? Chris Harris, that makes no goddamn sense. With that being said, hey, don't ever come at me with that weak knowledge. Hey, peace, Shaka. Shalom,
Peace. Thank you for calling me. Now, nice talk. And I hope that among ourselves, black folks worldwide, we will manage to communicate even if we don't agree. I've spoken to the brother JJ 7000 before, and I know he's of the Hebrew faith or Judaic faith, and I think he knows that I am what we call Kemetic. So from the get go, I know that in terms of philosophy or worldview, not to say religion, I don't really want to use the word that we are in opposition, but we are not on the same page. But we always manage to talk with some decorum. We don't disrespect ourselves, and I wish it would remain the same for the longest ever. But the brother was talking about different tribes of people who happen to follow the Hebrew faith. You see, so it's very remote from claiming that the original Jews or Hebrews or Israelites were black. You see, we have black people who are Buddhist and Hindus. It doesn't mean that they claim that Buddha is black and that the Indians were black. We have black people who are uh, Muslims, and the majority of black Muslims don't claim that the Arabs of the 7th century were black. You see? Now, let me just go and read the comments from our new member, Jason Edwards. He first wrote the Hyksos were expelled by the 15th dynasty around 1450 BCE and were also part of the divine, which is not how the Semitic belief is, and also the Canaanite belief system stands and originates. In northern Syria, if you track the mythology, you track the people. And what the brother wrote right there is very important. If you study this population, you heard about Syria, you will hear about Syriac, you will hear about, how do they call them again? The Phoenician people. And you will see where they stretched. And he wrote non-African. Then he wrote, because Yah is the Pantheon, I don't know that word, Pantheon, of the Canaanites. Oh, maybe he meant to write the Pantheon. Then he wrote, he probably meant Tutsi, but he says Tutsi Hebrews, the people of Carthage. Now, Carthage, for those who don't know, that's Tunisia. That took over when Rome defeated the Africanized Canaanites that focused on Baal. The Yah Hebrew population were a minority that is recorded. Then he later on wrote, so Ifa Yoruba is Hebrew, and he added they're both white. And Jason also wrote the Chakata is a tribe too. You know. Now, Chakata, I'm sure that people in America know what it is, but there's a documentary, I think it's called Red Masters, Black Slaves. Some Native Americans own black slaves because we have black people who claim that they are Indians. But anyway, there's been some mixing going on. It is true. It's a fact. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, have a little pause for a few minutes. And if anybody wants to join the conversation, then feel free. If people want to, participate in the chat, then feel free. Now, it should be members only, but I think something went wrong. So, take advantage, because what does it say? Okay, members only. Okay, yeah, the members only mode is on for the chat. So, good build so far. We have 60 people online. The Hebrew Israelites are on survival mode. And I think I will make some commentary with what we've just heard previously. All right. So I'm just going to play a little some, and then I'll be right back with you. I'm going to play that one there. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody has to be Kemetic. It's a matter of choice.
Hey, I want to jump in right here.
Yeah, feel free, brother.
Okay, I want to jump in and just say something about you, Shaka, that I noticed. And I'm quite sure everybody else noticed it too, the way that they kind of bounce off of you. That's a good way to put it. Almost kind of shy away, want to keep you quiet to a certain degree, especially after you told me about, well, not just me, all of us, of listening to you, how maybe they had you in the back, waiting for 40 minutes before you can make a comment, putting you off certain people's stages where they have their show, putting you off 2 and 3 times. I heard that said. That tells me something about an individual, and that'll make me take notice of them anyway and examine them to see what is it about them that they don't want to be bothered with. There's some stuff went on last night on Smash Show, and it's a dude called Waza. I'm quite sure they know him better than me, but Waza, he's kind of a comical fella, and but he got some smarts to him, but he don't know when to make his comment and then step back and wait, and just listen some for a while. He wants to get in there and, just rough and tough it out and don't want to listen to somebody else. And that I'm not saying you that way now, but I was just looking at Waza last night, and they had to put him in the back, or just put him off the show or whatever, because he just kept jumping in there too much. And people would be trying to talk, and he just interject and walk all on people, and just get in the conversation, and maybe even be talking about something else instead of what the subject was. But back to you, Shaka. You're similar to Waza to a certain degree, and I think we all have to have some aggressiveness to us. We have to be aggressive when the time is right. Don't get me wrong, but it's time. At certain times, we have to be humble, and we have to stand back and listen. And like I do, and I've always been that way. When you see somebody quiet, this is something I learned over the years. When you see them quiet, they either just out the loop completely, or they are a type of individual trying to see what's going on. And that's how I am. I do, and I can speak when the time is right, especially when I feel like it's necessary. And especially at my time and age now, I'm more the type to keep you in line, or maybe keep you directed right. And I think that's the elder's job. Of course, the elders should have more intelligent and just more knowledge on things than the youngsters coming up, because I used to have them tell me back in the day, man, where you going already? And I'm been there. I used to think about that until I figured it out. And these elders, they've been through stuff that you're getting ready to go through. And I don't know about all of the knowledge that you got, Shaka, but you ain't just talking to talk. You talking something that makes sense if it's talking about a subject or an individual that might be, like you say, buck dancing, or backing up, trying to two-step or sidestep, or however anybody that understands this want to see it. You'll bring it right out to light, and that's a good thing, especially when you teaching the people wrong, and you're not bringing them the truth. All this, dancing around in circles and stuff. You can't get a hold and a grip on things when you got people doing that. And when it's somebody doing that, you have to bring them to the forefront and say, you got to confront them. Hey, man, this is what you're doing right here. It's a little something that's right, because you were saying this the other day, and now you're saying something a little different. What's really going on here? What's the real truth? And I just wanted to say Shaka is the one that'll, bring that to the forefront. And I think that's a good thing about you, brother. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't like that. Pan Americans like that too, and that's how I was brought up.
Yeah, but, when you look at that my forever on this right here, he mean that. now I'm getting it, because man, it's my forever. you talking about for a little bit, forever. You gotta stick on my eye. I mean, that's the black. I mean, what we put together. You gotta stand on truth, righteous, justice, and all of that. And that's what it seems like the brother with the I don't know if that's
how he bring it. That's how he bring it.
I mean, so it's true to form for real. I appreciate it too. That's why I came. I'm like, it don't seem. He seemed like he's saying basically what I'm trying to say, but I can't talk to myself. But to have somebody of like mind, like I said, even all three of us, and me and many of us on the same page. Some people are just afraid to come out and speak. You know what I'm saying? So what Shaka's doing is spearheading what he's saying. Even though we ain't gonna agree on everything, what he's saying for the most part is 100%. I mean, 99%.
And that's a good thing about Shaka, especially when you're coming in truth, not Shaka. And the thing is, I was like that all my life coming up, and it's kind of a quiet world when you're like that, because most people, they kind of shun you. They stay away from you because they want you to tell them what they want to hear, or the stuff that's going to make them feel good. But when you tell them like it is and you confront them face to face, they don't want too much to do with you then. They want to stay away from you, and they'll even sometimes say some jive time or wrong stuff about you, and it'll make other people talk bad about you, not really truly knowing the truth, but putting you in a little corner by yourself, and making your world be lonely to a certain degree. It's going to be some people out there, just like me and Pan American is right now, about how you handle things, Shock. We don't mind coming on talking, and I'm always in the chat listening most of the time, but I will say things too. But we don't mind coming and talking with you because we're very similar. And the people that can't stand the truth, they're going to stay away from you, man, and they're gonna run from you, and really kind of, make you look bad and talk about you and bring you down if they can too. But like I said, I came up like that all my life. But the main thing you got to do, and this is all I can tell you, is you got to stand your ground and you got to stay firm. As long as you know you're doing what's right, brother, you got to do that and continue to do it no matter how bad it is, or sometimes how it hurts. And I know a lot of it hurts sometimes. But if you love your people and you love what you're doing, just keep doing what you're doing, bro.
And that right there was some global. That was global African wisdom. I mean, that was some wise words. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I mean, when you started, I thought you were gonna like tell me, sometimes Shaka, you shouldn't really wear feathers, and but and we have very few elders who say stuff like that. They rather say, try to man, try to, try to make try to
Try to
reconcile.
get
And I'm like,
along.
yeah, but sometimes confrontation is inevitable, and we're really supposed to confront the ideas, not individuals. I mean, there's some things that I've said in response to what they've done, which was total disrespect. A moderator invited me to come on the platform. I went on the platform, and because someone wouldn't talk to me, I waited. And when I was waiting, I did not even realize I was waiting that long. It's after, then I made my response, and I just counted the minutes because I was like, I'm gonna get a chance to speak anyway. And then when I get on, I'm being kicked out 3 times, and the other dude. And also, when it just happened, and I left because the guy's like, "Yeah, you're crying like a girl. We're all grown man. You have no discipline." First, I left. I was like, you know what? Just not gonna address those guys anymore and keep it pushing. But then I was like, yo, they done that on purpose, man. That's a group effort. I'm like, oh, it's like that now. Okay, But and like I said before, in my response, I've said some harsh things. I tried not to use profanity. I'm not proud of the video, but I'm not ashamed of the video because don't start none, won't be none. You know what I'm saying?
In other words, you got fight in you. You got some fight just like they got.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Now I want to thank the person that sent me an email entitled Benny Hassan Original because it's so funny. I never even noticed that. I never even noticed that we have the term Hyksos that we call Hyksos in English, which derives from the Greek, but really the Medunetier or hieroglyphic term will be Heka Hasut. It appears in that Beni Hassan painting. So thank you for that email. I mean, there's so much. There's so much when it comes to the artifacts. But our people are so trapped into literatures of theology that we have to engage them and spend so much time when really we could deal with the facts, not with the beliefs. But anyway, what I'm going to do right now is just to show you. And the funny thing is that the brother JJ7000 asked me if I have depictions of of Hyksos. So for the record here, some people might not know how to spell it, and I don't mean to sound condescending when I say that, but Beni Hassan, that's how it's spelled. This is the Wikipedia page. All right. So Uh, Here, West Asiatic visitors to Egypt, circa 1900 BCE. All right. So at the top, we have the original painting located in Beni Hassan, which is in Egypt, for those who don't know. And at the bottom, we have the reproduction. So you have a clearer view. And the label here says a group of West Asiatic foreigners visiting the Egyptian official Khnum-Hotep II, circa 1900 BC. The leader is labeled a Hyksos. Tomb of 12th dynasty, official Khnum-Hotep at Beni Hassan. So not only we know, name, dates, and places, not only we know where it is located, the place, we know exactly that it is a tomb of the official Khnum-Hotep. So if they say that he is the official, it is safe to say that it was not the pharaoh or the Nesu or the Nesubiti. And he was a great chief of the Oryx nome during the reign of Pharaoh Amenemhat II and Senusret II. And he is well known for his tomb at Beni Hassan and his decoration. So here, if you want some visual, you have a depiction of Khnum-Hotep. All right? But let's go back. Let's go back. Now, I'm clicking on this. You see right there? That scepter, that's Heka. That glyph here is Chasset. Now, this is the hieroglyph. For those who take the classes, you know what it stands for. Heka Chasset. It's from that term that we get Hyksos. Some of you might come across these glyphs and 3 lines underneath the hilltop. The 3 lines will give us the mark of the plural. So instead of pronouncing it Heka Chasset, people will pronounce it Heka Chasut. Heka means ruler. It can have another meaning as well, which is magic, but it means ruler in this case. And Chasset is foreign land. So Heka Chasset means ruler of foreign land. The plural form Heka Chasut means rulers of foreign lands, or if you want, ruler of foreign lands. Now, on the original, it will be less clear, less obvious. Let me go back. Let me go back again. Oh, hold on. Now, but it is still distinguishable, right? That's the original here. That's the scepter. Even the color of the scepter is not the same on the reproduction as compared to the original, The hilltop, which here is a phonetic complement, but I'm not trying to get into the grammar. And here we have the hilltop. So what has been labeled? The group of people that have been labeled as Canaanite in the book edited by Eric M. Myers has been labeled as Hyksos or Heka Chasset on the original by the inhabitants of Kemet, Remech and Kemet. or Kemetic people themselves. You learn every day. Now, brother JJ 7000 at one point talked about the Hapiru. Many people who are English speaking uh pronounce it Haparu. There's a guy, I don't really want to name him, but he's very well known in the conscious community for being a linguistic acrobatic gymnast, on top of being a plagiarizer. And he has a group of cheerleader groupies. Um, and he's been, I mean, like the University of Armenia was one of the members of that group that no longer exists. You know, um, back then he used to say that they were Hebrews in Kemet, and he used to say that those Hebrews were black. And I asked him for records, and that's 10 years back. I asked him for records. He couldn't give me any, but he talked about the Haparu and the linguistic gymnastics. Some people figured, well, Hapiru sounds similar to Hebrew. I mean, instead of doing history, we have to dispel the fictional. It is sad, man. It is sad. Jason wrote, I realized that if you read the Bible like the Odyssey, you can see how the Romans got themselves from the Trojans and how the Bible makes the Jewish people. Where are the Hebrews in history? Can someone show me? How far does that go back? Can someone show me some original artifact, not some book printed 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 100 years ago? The title of this video is Hebrew Israelites are on survival mode. So apparently now what they are doing is, well, we have some tribes of people in Africa and they say they are Hebrews. So that's the record, that's the fact, that's the data, that's the evidence, that's the proof. We can do better than this. We should do better than this. Now, some people like the entertainment, they like the wordplay, so they go for it. We don't have to do cultural appropriation. We don't need to do cultural appropriation. I am honestly sad, but I take the time, as you have seen over the years. I've been live streaming for 2 hours. We have 15 people online. And as usual, you can notice, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, no matter where you are, people make claims, they cannot back it up. Where are the Hebrew Israelites? JJ 7000 has been a Hebrew Israelite for only 9 years. Most Hebrew Israelites that we hear on those platforms, they have been Hebrew Israelites for like 20 years, 30 years, 40 years. Have they shown you some black Hebrews? And maybe I need to specify and clarify ancient Hebrews Or that's why I like to use the term Canaanites, because Hebrews in history, I don't even know how far that goes back. It should be so easy for them to show and prove. Jason Edwards wrote, there was a report that came out from Israel that said the Judaic ritual and belief system wasn't full separated from the Canaanites earlier than they even expected. Then he added later, my bad. You know the funny thing? Oh, hold on. So it's on my end right now. There it is. You know the funny thing? I made a video entitled Guess what a pastor told me today. And you know what? I will play some part of it because you have to hear it. You have to see the date. Or maybe it was, you won't believe what a pastor told me today. There it is. See that? You won't believe what a pastor told me today. You see the date here? Upload date 3 months ago. 35 likes, 254 views.
World tour, and
It's 4 minutes and 55 seconds long.
we spoke for about 5 minutes. Now, saying this revelation and so that inspired their own arguments. I forget about it. And the person asked him a question like, how, I told him validation, for lack of a better word. I'm paraphrasing, but he used a word of and he said, but it's online, it's on the internet. Validation.
There you go. Now I want you to listen carefully to what I've stated 3 months ago, following my encounter with an African American pastor who happened to be walking in Paris. He started talking to me, wanted to tell me about the Lord, about the Bible, about God. He had a little talk. And I felt like asking him, you don't mind if I film this conversation? But I was like, I don't want to put him off. And I regret now, because if I would have had that on tape, it would have been better. But listen to my testimony from 3 months ago. Listen to that.
For lack of a better word, I'm paraphrasing, but he used a word of that persuasion. And later on, as we were about to finish, he told me that the Ark of Covenant was found and that is in Turkey. So I told him the same thing. I said, no, if it was there, people would know about it. And he said, but it's online, it's on the internet. And I said, can you show me? And he said, well, you have a phone, you can have a look. And then I said, well, you have a phone as well, but then he rushed to leave. And
so you heard that, brothers and sisters? That pastor that I met 3 months ago in Paris, once again, is African American, and I think he was on some sort of world tour. He told me that the Ark of Covenant was found, and that was found in Turkey. And just a few days ago, I forgot which channel it was, because every now and then, I see some videos uploaded on different channels, and I scroll through. I go forward and listen to a few minutes, and then I keep it pushing, because most of the time it's the same thing that we hear, the same fictional stories and fairy tales, the same claims without any validity, any evidence, any proof. And the person was saying the same thing. Look, he actually shared an article claiming that the Ark of Covenant was found in Turkey. And things like that are things that you hear for years. Just like the so-called Black Cleopatra. I shared some excerpt of the interview of the children of Far Muhammad's first ever secretary. not really a book. It's just a few pages long. Bronstein Sharif Muhammad, reformer and secretary to Master W.D.F. Muhammad. I think she's the one who originated the MGT. She was married to Elijah Muhammad's brother. Her son and daughter are still alive. They had several interviews. And the guy who interviewed them wrote a book, maybe more like an anime or cartoon. It's like a children's book. And it's about the black Cleopatra. So the people who claim that Cleopatra was black, where did they get that from? Should we label that urban legends, like Tommy Hilfiger on Oprah, saying that he doesn't want or doesn't like black people wearing his brand, and that's Oprah Winfrey's show, and we don't have any footage of that. We don't have any record of Oprah talking about that story. But you remember the email floating around. I'm sure some of you have read that email. Oprah was offended. Oprah kicked him out of the show. Urban legends. But yet some people use the term scholarship. We're not progressing. Is there any of you, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, who feel that Cleopatra was black? What makes you say she was black? Where do you get that from? Elijah Muhammad himself said that the Muhammad that was here 1400 years ago was a white man. Farrakhan himself said that Prophet Muhammad was a white man. And we have a student of both, Elijah Muhammad, and Farrakhan goes around claiming that Prophet Muhammad was black, contradicting his teachers. But you notice, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, that the people who share the fairy tales, the fictional stories, and the urban legends, they get thousands of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers, tens of thousands of views. It is what it is. Sometimes you're left with choices. Will I get along? Will I get on the program and fit in this ecosystem of falsehood? Or will I maintain and represent for the truth? What is truth is facts. Truth is not relative. Like I said before, I'm sorry, you can't swim, I can't swim. We both bound to drown. We have people running around saying race is a social construct. Oh, we have all sorts of smart talks. Just yesterday, I saw a lady who is a cheerleader to the Riparianites, and she wrote that there's no such thing as a black person. Now, some of you have seen the discussion I had with one Riparianite, and when I showed him the picture of Wesley Snipes, I had to ask him like maybe 10 times what's the color of Wesley Snipes. He wouldn't answer. We're not progressing. We could do better. So I'm not trying to have people changing their religion. It's a belief. It's on them. But if we're talking about ancient population, there are records. And for those who want to talk about the DNA, E1B1A, and all of the markers, hey, knock yourself out. But do we have a DNA marker for Jewish people? Do we have a DNA marker for a religion? Do we have a genetic marker for a group of people that practice a said religion? I doubt it. I'm not a geneticist. Oh, we have some E1B1A brothers, E1B1B brothers, man. They break down the ancient population with a set of genetic markers. And sometimes they sound like they are all over the place. We have the visual evidence for the ancient Egyptians. I told you, brothers. There's this guy on TikTok making fun of black people, talking about the blackness of ancient Egyptians. So I hollered at him. He didn't reply. And I showed the previous background profile picture that I had, which is housed at the Louvre Museum. I've shared it many times. And I asked the dude, what does it look like to you? Once again, nobody calls Herodotus a blackologist, but the ignorant, plagiarist, linguistic acrobats that have the nerves to label people like us blackologists, but they won't say that about Herodotus. They won't even say that about Champollion. Oh, we can't be more thorough than that, man. But unfortunately, some people have an elitist mindset. Now, let me read this comment before I touch on another topic. Jason wrote, there was a report. Oh, no, I read that already. This is the latest comment. Vast Review finds no evidence that the Torah laws were commonly observed before the 2nd century BCE. 2nd century BCE, brothers and sisters, 200 BC. Says Professor Jonathan Adler. So those laws were supposedly passed on by Moses circa 1500 BC. You can give and take a 100-year or two. You can give and take a century or two or three. See, the same person who sent me an email earlier sent me a new one, and apparently it's a video. But it looks like an ancient video. It is. 8 years ago. Dang. So those laws given by Moses or given to Moses circa 1500 to 1200 BC. And 1,000 years goes by without any evidence that those laws were commonly observed. If you don't mind, Jason, can you give us the name of the article or book where this quote is taken from? I like that quote. I would like to have the source. Actually, I'm going to share it. As soon as I have the source and I verify it, I'm going to share it on Twitter and on the YouTube community. Now, what I wait for Jason to substantiate that quote, the movie Black Panther, when we talk about the elitist mindset, Why do so many people dislike the movie Black Panther? Thank you, Jason. He wrote, sure, let me copy it. The sad truth is that a lot of people have a problem with Africans being on top. And the majority will not say it outright. They will look for other pretexts, excuses. See, for Black Panther 1, I heard T'Challa was a traitor. T'Challa is not in the movie. Black Panther Part 2, easy. So you will hear it all. When you hear some people, it's as if the movie Black Panther will set black people back. I saw a video of Dr. Umar who said that he hasn't watched the movie, but the way he's describing the movie, I'm like, damn, if you haven't watched it, and somebody gave him a very nice and detailed summary. What about the school, though? Hasn't it been a decade? Hasn't it been 10 years? Some people are untouchable, though. Like the founder of Kwanzaa. Kwanzaa is established within the Pan African rapist and pedophile community. It's established. The kind of things that you don't talk about, you don't criticize. Like the negrophobic and anti-black and anti-African lessons of the Nation of Islam that says that Africans are living a jungle life, that Africans are not civilized, that we were marked because we rebelled against God. Jason Edwards wrote, it might not become a link. Oh, it's fine. Feel free to share it. I can, copy and paste it and it will be a link. So don't worry about that, brother Jason. You look like a young brother, Jason. I'm listening to your track right now. Are you Jay that God? Or is it one of your homies? So the book is called The Origins of Judaism. All right, I'm going to look it up. And he is indeed 23 years old. And he wrote, oh, thanks. I made that. That was a long time ago. All right. 23 years old, brother. You're so lucky. I was 22 years old when I started my website back in 2004. I'm 40 now. So you have so much time ahead of you. And you remind me of the young brother who I think is still on the age now. But when he started taking the Mentorship classes with me, he was 16. He might be 18 now because that was a while back. We need some young brothers and sisters to carry the torch and be sharp and thorough. Because we have some 50-year-old butler, they are a disgrace and a disappointment, man. They're lame, they're pseudo, going around saying Heru is Greek. And then they get mad at you for quoting them. Cannot even say, well, my bad, I said something wrong. Irresponsible, lame, liars, cowards. And they bang against Kemetic people. And they say themselves proudly, you know, I mean, we have the evidence. Exhibit A.
I don't believe in old Egyptian gods. I don't believe in that stuff. I wasn't even taught that bullshit, right? I'm the one who bangs against the Kemetics. I bang against them and they can't get through me because the gods that they worship, right, were born from another group of thinking, right? So you can't come with me with no goddamn Heru or no other that bullshit. Show it to me in the primary, show it to me in writing, show it to me in the period. You're making the bullshit up.
Well, this conscious community of Pan-Africans, this is the time of lane that you have, and they are 50 years old. The other people, they study all the way to PhD, and that's what they say publicly.
The real way, never being booked. Road chemist, garbage. If you want to get authentic about blacks, conquering blacks, throw Maya in the trash can, throw Amin Ra, the slave nation God away.
Jason wrote, I've been studying Kemet since I was 16. My civics teacher showed our class hidden colors, and that put me on the path of finding out the truth, although I've always been a budding mythologist. Now, hidden colors, historic Ignatian has been dissing Kemetic people for a long time. It's the main guy who put up Hotep being used as a negative, Hotep N-word and all that. He kind of stopped using that term lately, but the damage was done. And now to Ignition, it sounds like a black Trump dissing Africans, dissing Caribbeans, dissing non African Americans. But anyway, to each his own. Jason added, I found my first connection between Greece, Rome, and Kemet in the 5th grade because the Greeks had to come to Kemet and become head Heru. Not really sure what brother's trying to say there. Brother Jason, I would recommend that you study the Medunetter. It doesn't have to be with me. I'm giving classes for those who don't know, but whoever that is with, I think it will be very helpful to you. And ultimately, if you can learn some other languages as well, Now let me go and look for the origin of Judaism. I'm going to copy and paste a quote and see if I can find it. So, nice quote. Now, well, we'll have Haaretz that mentions that. Then we have another website called the Torah.com that mentions that. And now I'm going to put the book title. And the author, there it is. Bear with me, brothers and sisters. There's no rush, right? Plus, we don't have anybody on the panel. For those who wonder how to get on the panel, I've shared the link. See? So you go at the top of the chat, and that's the second link. The first one is to become a member. And becoming a member will allow you to participate in the chat. But the second link is for whoever wants to get on the panel. You can use a computer, you can use a smartphone, you can use a tablet. It's on you. Now, I'm going to go, hold on. Going to go there. Haha. Oh, come on now. There it is. Okay. Was there earlier. I'm going to try another way. Here. Okay, I'm going to try with the name. There was an entry on JSTOR, for those who know it. And I logged in with my university information. But then I didn't see it anymore. Hold on. So I'm going to try the author. I'm going to try by the author's name. Okay, I'm going to try there. Now. Oh my goodness. I'm going to try both the title and the author's name. I don't understand why I had it on JSTOR earlier. I don't have it now. Well, never mind. We're going to read the... Oh, we have Jason.
Hello, hello.
Thanks for calling in, brother.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm glad you called in, brother. Where are you
Thank
located, brother?
you. Sir?
Where are you located?
You said why'd I look 18?
Where are you staying right now? Where are
Oh,
you living?
staying. Oh, I am in the United States, in Alabama.
Alabama, oh, the South. Okay. All right. Feel
Mm-hmm.
free to speak, brother.
Nice, nice. The good old Bible Belt.
Feel free to speak, brother.
Yeah. So I was saying, I guess regarding the connection I had in fifth grade was between the story of Zeus and Io, when Hera had a fly, or I think I forgot exactly what it was. A monster chased Io into Egypt, and she became, and Zeus turned her into a cow. So I researched Kemet and went into that, and I saw they had a deity of nature described as a cow. So and that cow also had a myth where it changed forms as well. So that kind of put me on the path where it's not just there's something more to it than what I thought it was. More so, it wasn't isolated as much, and so like influences changed, and then I researched, did more research and did more research, and found out that they really didn't get there until the end of everything. Cleopatra lived closer to the smartphone than the building of the pyramids. So it kind of messed with my sense of timing, really. And I think that's what most people have trouble dealing with. I think because when you say ancient Egypt, I think the first thing that they picture is Cleopatra, and they essentially associate that with everything else, and so it's just trying to find parts of the structure, the content that you can start teaching from. I'm also a sub. I think I made a PowerPoint presentation for the high school, for a high school history class, and I did it about Kemet in the Nile Valley. And I went over the Medu Neter, went over the history, went over the more things that the textbook is not going to give you. We went over the normal palette. I broke that down, and how even in the culturally that the smallest person, it still matters. Like they have touched the sandal holder for an armor. His name is engraved on the palette. So it's just when you're thinking of the perspectives of when they tell you, oh, they had kings and queens in Egypt and in Africa, it's a difference. Because in Europe, mostly it's about power, selfishness, narcissism. But when you get to Africa, it's more of the king is a servant. When you get to him, Neter, sometimes like him Neter, the Nusubiti is the him Neter, he's a high priest, and the him Neter is a divine servant. So the king is the servant of the people, the biggest, the greatest servant. And so I think that in the community, in the African community, is a staple in how the culture is different than say the European or even the Asian culture. So then I think following the mythology, you can I also started getting into, I think the most thing that I think I really found interesting is I guess they found the Dragon Man. And you had Dragon Man, Denisovan, Homo sapien, Neanderthal all living at the same time. And they were all in specific areas of where you had these quote unquote races now, socially. Like you have there's the Neanderthal. If you're European, you had Neanderthal DNA. If you're African, you don't have any other outside DNA. And if you're Asian, you have Denisovan DNA, or Indian. You have Denisovan DNA and Neanderthal DNA and Homo sapien DNA. So then you got Dragon Man, which is Central Asia, which you can get the Khans, the Mongols. So things like that, when you follow and try to put things together with different, I would say different studying or different genre of different intellectual spaces. You have to step outside and look and see how they connect with each other. And so that's how I really came up. I guess got to the point with with Judaism coming from the Canaanites coming from Syria, because you got because the oldest, I think I found the oldest, I saw a picture of the oldest description, the oldest what is it, making of an idol of El from 3500 BC, and that's from Syria. So it's kind of, that kind of shook me up a little bit. I was like, okay, I didn't know that. That is what I didn't know. So it's a lot of things where you have to do a lot of more research, and also the specific questions you ask on Google to do the research will lead people to incorrect or inaccurate information. So like if I said, I think because I was looking for the book and another, I was looking for the book and another book popped up and it was telling, I guess, talking about the complete opposite. But I phrased the question a different way, what I was looking for a different way. So it's just, I think our people really need to really look at how we ask questions, why we ask questions, what do we do with the information if it goes against what our initial belief, and learning from that and moving forward, and as well as taking part in the community and building a community and a unified culture that's positive. We have a unified hip hop culture, we have a unified black culture, and that's fine. That's all fine for entertainment, things like that. But I think what's really needed is a serious culture where it's dedicated to the progressive, like to the progression of the African or the black descendant or the African people of African descent, culture, way of life. Just even if it's just starting from scratch, going home, taking your shoes off. Something, it could be something small, it could be things like that, and building the community, building that small micro culture is key. You go from micro to, well, I would say nano, you will go from nano to micro to macro. So I think that and that's also reflective in how the Kemetic philosophy, well, spirituality is. You have, for example, let's take the traveling of Ra. They describe that throughout the day. He travels and ages and dies throughout the day, but he also does that throughout the year. And not only that, you are also going through that throughout the day because you go to sleep, and in the morning you're reborn, you're awakened again because you could have died, you could have not made it during the night. So, and I've seen that as you have the nano, which is yourself, the micro, which is your surroundings, and then the macro, which is anything that you can't control, which is just what the natures have in store, essentially. So you take those things and do what you can. You do your best and always try to be better. So I think that's what I think. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
And that's beautiful. And and starting from scratch, I I feel like it's not a bad option, because a lot of people feel like we have some established community where really is when really it's a melting pot. And if people are on the same page, they can do a lot. They can do a
Mm-hmm.
lot, you know. And as long as we don't have fence riders, because fence riders, they make us waste time and energy. And I've been given that analogy. I'm on a boat, and the person is also on the boat. We are rowing. He's behind
Mm-hmm.
me. I trust him, so I don't look behind me. I think he's rowing. Either he's not rowing, or he might even be rowing in the opposite direction. So I'm stagnating. I'm not moving forward. And
Mm-hmm.
we have
Right.
many instances of fence riders who claim to be down with the Kemetic culture, and ultimately they're starting, dissing or going against the Kemetic culture. People don't have
Mm-hmm.
to be Kemetic. It's not an obligation. If they don't like it, then
Right.
so be it. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
you wrote that you started you've been studying the meta nature.
Yes.
You started around August. May I ask, like, which book you use, or which What do you use
I've
to study the meditation?
I've been I've downloaded Script, and what I've been doing, I think the first I watched a video on YouTube first. I forgot it's an old video. I forgot who posted it, but you will probably know it's about it's set in like a classroom. It's like an older type video set in the classroom. A darker skinned guy, older darker skinned guy with like a goatee and then like an afro. I think you had he had before the video started, before I guess he started going through the metal nature, he had he did talked about libations to Tahuti and Shashat in my eye. Can't remember his name, but I watched that video first to and I also, I guess, in surrounding that information, I've also taught, I guess, been listening to Infudishi.
Okay.
Sebaj Infudishi, his videos, and just to get the cultural understanding, because you can study, you can know you can learn the language, but if you don't get the culture of the language, you're gonna miss a lot.
So you haven't used any book yet, have you?
I have. Well, I've been using so after the videos I've been using I've been so I have been doing a number of things. So I've been reading and copying the Middle Egyptian from Faulkner, R.O. Faulkner. Or
Okay.
was it? I've been reading that.
Reading and copying?
Yeah, reading and copying.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, reading and copying. And
Okay.
I've been reading and copying the Part in Haru.
Okay.
To just and then I think just to any vocabulary that I can see and just I read it and I can understand it and I see any vocabulary that stick in my head, it'll stick and I'll just continue. And I'll reread it, I'll copy every day and then work on that. Then I've also been working on reading stories, just non-spiritual works like the Shipwreck Shaler. Been reading that, been reading I downloaded E.A. Wallace's Bud Egyptian stories, I think. Or Egyptian myths, I think, where he has the metal nature in it. So I'll copy that and read that and see what I can get out of it. And then just really listen to Smash Rockwell.
Right. Smash, yes, okay.
So I've been, and that's really been and then really I think it's sometimes listening to some songs, a number of songs that have metal nature, that are in metal nature. I listen to those and see if I can get anything. It's just any ways possible. I teaching my sister so I can talk to her from any words, anything like that.
Your sister?
Yep, my baby sister.
How old is she?
She is 10 right now.
Oh, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. Now you see, the advice I will give you is I've shared the link in the chat here. So at the bottom of every page, that's just the hieroglyphic sign list according to Gardner, is this quote unquote alphabet. Those are what we call the uniliterals. You might have heard that term before.
Yeah.
I would advise you to try to memorize them. It will make it very easy for you, and it's something I wish I knew. Yes.
I memorized them. I think the first month I wrote them. I wrote the alphabet every day. Every time I started working on it, I wrote the alphabet every day.
So you already know the uniliterals.
Yeah. So I know how to. So I guess the level I'm at right now is I can spell, I can read, but I guess the vocabulary definitions.
All right.
And the grammar, I'm pretty basic with the grammar. Well, I would say a little bit more than basic. I think right now I'm at the point where I can I think I'm at the point where you have the individual pronouns right now. And like you have the individual pronouns and their
Let's do something.
Exception.
Just hold on.
Okay.
Let's do something. I'm going to go. I'm looking for a short sentence. I want to go too far, I think. Oh, that one is nice. Okay, I'm gonna put that one on, but I don't want the. I'm just gonna modify something. I'm gonna copy this. This. Oh, what's going on here? And with me, it's every time you want to show something, it's always like that. Where's the view? There's the view, and obviously here it's gonna work if I change that view. So I'm doing that. Yes, it does. And I'm removing this. All right. Now let me share the screen. What do you manage to read here?
Okay, Ost Mut Netter Nebet Pit.
And how do you translate it?
So you would say Ost, Ost, the divine mother, lady of heaven.
And that's beautiful. Well done. Congratulations. That's
Thank you.
well done. Yeah, you have a level already. That's beautiful. I will recommend this one is nice. It's by Bien Manley. It's called Egyptian Hieroglyphs for Complete Beginners. It's very nice because it shows you a lot of original artifacts. And a lot of times when you have those grammar books about the Mother Nature, you don't see that many original artifacts. So I think that one is very nice for beginners. And you probably heard of Egyptian grammar by Gardiner.
Yes, yeah. I remember reading that one too.
That one is really a classic. You know, it's really a classic. So
no,
I
I
mean,
meant to say, I guess the one, not the book out, the grammar book I was copying was Gardner's book, not Faulkner's.
Oh, okay, not Faulkner.
I
Okay,
have
okay.
Faulkner's dictionary. I have his dictionary.
Yeah,
That's what I have.
yeah, Faulkner is good. Is good, but it is indeed, yeah, the dictionary. So yeah, Garden is good, and if you want something like more up to date, that will be one of the best. Is Middle Egyptian by James P. Allen.
James P. Allen. Okay.
Yeah, and you can find it online. You know, I ain't gonna say no more, but you know, you can find it online, and but Guardian of Ocean is like more. You know, it's like I think 680 pages or something like that.
I think I'm
Yeah,
on
600
one.
something pages. So, you know, and some of the
I think I'm
things
on
of
lesson 89 right now.
yeah, come again.
I said I think
Oh,
I'm on
lesson.
lesson 89 of Gardner's right
Okay,
now.
okay, yeah, and that's very good. That's very good, and you know, oh, I don't know if there's any museums near you, but if you have the chance to go to some museum, you know, where they have some ancient Egyptian artifacts, it's a good exercise to read directly from the artifact. I don't know if you had the chance to see on my channel where when I've been going to museums.
Yeah, I've seen the videos and I'll follow along, and I'll also go to the Britain, I guess the online British museums and the Met, and I'll just go online and see artifacts, look up artifacts, go on Google Images, translate the I think the first one I fully translated was Nefertiti's or Nefertari's tomb wall. I think that was the first one I completely did.
That's good. And that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You know, that's good. And I'm happy. You know, you're only 23. when I was your age, what you just read, I couldn't read it. you know. So that's very good. I encourage you, to continue. As a matter of fact, I enrolled at the university to study Egyptology formally. So
Mm-hmm.
I started late, but better late than never. But
Yeah, it's no
if
knowledge. Is there. It's going to be there.
mm,
It's a door waiting for somebody to open it.
mm,
So
that's lovely. That's lovely.
mhm.
I'm very proud of you. To be honest, I'm very proud of you. We don't have that many people your age, who take that time, that effort. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mhm.
now I'm trying to study, Greek, and well, a few other languages as well. But because I would like to touch on the Coptic, so it will be helpful
Mhm.
if I know the Greek, if I'm familiar with the Greek. But that's just lovely. That's what we need. We need people who are familiar, who specialize in certain areas, and language is a heart of a culture. So
Yeah.
you know it's like the Arabic. I'm not fluent in Arabic, but I also started learning the Arabic a while back
Mhm.
because I was dealing with some black Muslims, claiming that Prophet Muhammad was black. So I had to be familiar with some Arabic in order to go through the hadith.
Right.
Because the hadith, the Sahih hadith, like Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim, they say something totally different than those people who claim that the Arabs are black. But they do linguistic acrobatics and linguistic gymnastics.
Mhm.
But I have an article about that. May I ask how long you known about my channel?
I think about maybe 4 months. About since August.
All
I
right.
I, I really got started buckling down around August.
Mm,
Because I think I had came back from a car. Well, I came back from a car accident,
mm,
and well, let me back up a little bit. When I started learning about Kemet, Africa, um, with the hidden colors, the thing with that is a lot of people they don't know how to, I guess, take correct information and not the pseudo information.
mm.
So I've always been keen on that, and just taking that and just double checking because my civics teacher said don't trust anybody, not even me.
And that's good.
Go home, look it up. I teach you something, go home, look it up. So
Mm,
put it on. He watched it, and they had a lot of stuff with they had a lot of good stuff, but a lot of some stuff was pseudo. So I wanted to so after that after high school, after I graduated, I got the I Heru tattooed on my shoulder. And it's funny because the tattoo artist, he wouldn't give it to me unless I knew what it was. He didn't if I didn't know Heru's name, if I didn't know Al Kibulan, if I didn't know Kemet. Yeah, so I had to at least know those three things before he put it on my shoulder. So and then
mhm.
he introduced me to Dr. Clark. He told me to look up A Great and Mighty Walk. I watched that video.
You know it's
Um
produced by Wesley Snipes, do you?
I didn't I think
Yeah.
I think I forgot who said that recently. I think
He,
somebody
he, he,
got a lot
he's actually the
recently.
one narrating it.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh
If you listen
wow, okay.
closely, yeah, it is Wesley Snipes, and I read that he produced it because Wesley Snipes, he was associated with the Nubians, so things about
Okay,
Kemet,
I didn't
he.
know that. Yeah,
Oh
I didn't
yes,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah. He was. He had a company called like the Royal Guard of Amen Ra. But
Hmm.
unfortunately, with the accusation of Malachi York, a lot of people will kind of
Right,
distance
right,
themselves.
right.
But yeah, but keep going, keep going.
So after that I got that. Then college, I went off to college, didn't really do anything, got lazy, didn't look anything into it, just away from the church, but um just living me, I guess. Um Uncle died and reached my he was kind of like my father. So that was kind of at a low point because I think from up until that point I was doing things to be like him and not for me. So when he died, it kind of tore my world up a little bit. And I started getting back and trying to see spiritually what would be right for me. So it was really not, just started looking at just different mythologies, going back to mythology, because I knew that was close to me. But it wasn't really, I think, after that I realized that mythology is religion. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
So mythology and religion is the same thing. And because I got interested, I think I saw a video about Joseph Campbell. And Joseph Campbell has a book called The Face of a Thousand Heroes. And he also talks about how you have Heru, and then you have Heru, you have a lot of other heroes with that basic story. Then you have Jesus, and you continue. He goes on and on about it. And this is, I think, from the 1940s, 1940s. So, and so I was interested. So I just started looking, and then I started. I had another car. Then that car accident happened, and I started looking back into what I have, like where I'm from, Africa. I don't necessarily know the direction, but what I did know was that there was one spiritual system that I agreed with, not only philosophically, but also even, I guess, just scientifically. Even if you just want to break it down or try to trying to make it fit into science, you can still, it's not as egregious as trying to fit the Bible per se into the science, into what's going on with science, with the with the Big Bang. You can fit those things a bit more easier with the Kemetic tradition. So and it's a bit more blended with science and spirituality blended, and it fit me. And I started learning about the culture, and I think what really sold me was that, I think it might have been a quote from the teachings of Ptah Hotep, or but it was a quote that essentially it said, "What goes on in the house stays in the house," and that's paraphrasing. He's paraphrasing, but that's essentially what he said. And I remember my mom telling me that. And then that brought me back to my mom telling me about Anansi. And those things just kind of just making me more tied to Africa. Like what we have now, the culture that we have now, the things we say, things we do, is we take inklings. If we can't take the whole thing, we take something. And then that something, we add on to that, we continue that. So, like, for example, even if we just take you're not even talking about Africa, just take Europeans, for example. You have Yule, right? But you have Yule, the things with the big Christmas tree, the big Christmas trees, things like that. That's from Germanic. That's from the Germanics. And then you can track the Germanics, the Norse to the Germanics. And so, like, their culture. Then I think they just found a giant underwater graveyard that was between Germany, Switzerland, and Austria. So in those areas are like where you find the Druidic, the cultic, and the Celtic peoples, and they all kind of have the same type of belief system, kind of like African spirituality.
Yeah,
so
like the Druids and all that, Yeah.
Right. So in that's how you can see. Oh, now you see why they have, some people might have, the Vikings had water burials, right? Because if their original place of Germanic graveyard was maybe sunk on the water somehow, they might have taken that with them to wherever they moved to. So I think just even just today we see people. I think people don't do it nowadays, but back in the 90s, people pouring out the 40 ounces the libations.
Libation,
So,
yeah.
it's still, you know, that's still with us. So,
Yeah.
so yeah, I just think just getting back to that really made me feel a whole lot better than what I was really feeling up until that point. And had a couple had a couple things happen to me afterwards, but yeah, that's just not consistent. Just I just, you know, not consistent. Just things I think the things that have been happening to me recently that's been not been, I guess, a good per se. Um since I've started, it's just I can see now I haven't been focused, or like I just sometimes I'm unfocused, or I'm not concentrated, or not consistent, and I see things that affect me. Like if my room's not clean, I get sick and I can't go to work because I gotta clean. I gotta spend a whole day to clean my room. So it's certain things that I have to set days for. Just you know, I have to set my schedule a different way for me to be able to perform at my best self. And the way that I have to perform that way is, hey, is like like Kepper. You work get up in the morning, you work. So you do what you have to do. So do what you don't want to do what you got to do. So when you old and when you at the end of the day, you can rest into the horizon, like Amen. So it's just so yeah. So I've been just been really into that, in the spirituality. Just kind of it's with the writing and the middle nature. It's just kind of just blending all together for me. So it is the best path, and I think just even if people, as I teach and I try to just give this to other black kids. I don't say, oh, you got to do this or you have to do this or anything like that. I just let them know that that the things that you do now are African, and if you Africanize just Africanize something, and make sure it's self love and you love yourself. You put yourself at a position where you have something that's not yours in intrinsically, but you have that Africanization of that. So like for example, Baptist, I love my families are Baptist. My father, stepfather's a Baptist preacher, and he, you know, he's about the black Jesus, right? Yahweh. But at the same time, you have some Baptist church that preach about the white Jesus. So it's just kind of like, you know, you just gotta find ways to Africanize, just to define unity for people like us, people like in our community. So be it somebody's a Jew, a Hebrew Israelite that I don't understand, because most of them still believe in in the New Testament, so that kind of confuses me as well. So but there's just Hebrew Israelites, or just anybody in general and just trying to just go for it. I just say just Africanize somehow, some way, find some part of it to Africanize your ancestors, honor your ancestors, make a trip out to the graveyard, or you know, you don't have to make a
Oh,
shrine,
you're gonna you're gonna scare our people, man. Now,
Well,
let me
I'm not saying make a shrine. I'm saying make a shrine. But I'm just saying go out to the graveyard,
yeah,
leave some
that's what's gonna
flowers,
scare them.
leave
But
some flowers.
did you get a chance to see the video introduction to Kemet or Kemet
I,
and Mad? No.
I don't think I did.
Yeah. Well, if you have some time, it's 45 minutes long. It's the main
Hmm.
video on my channel, and on all my videos it says Kemet and Ma'at before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. That's the video.
Okay.
Um, in in Alabama, have you heard about the Aniston Museum?
Aniston. Oh, I haven't heard of the Aniston Museum, but
Yeah.
I do know Aniston.
Yeah. Well, it's what's the address? Connect. Over there they have some artifacts. They have some artifacts from Kemet. So if you have a chance to go there, you'll be able to see a few. You know.
I'm gonna
Uh,
definitely check that out.
yeah, I actually have a list of most museums in the world that have a significant amount of ancient Egyptian artifacts, and I'm planning to do some sort of road trip. Next time I go to America. But yeah, that will be the closest to you. And then there's some. I don't know if you're far from Georgia. Uh,
About 4 hours. About 4 hours.
oh, far. That's
Hmm.
because there's in Atlanta. There's the Michael C. Carlos Museum, which is at Emory University in Georgia. So, but 4 hours is is quite some way.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but yeah, that one, if you have time. What is it I want to say again? I forgot. I forgot. I forgot. But that's lovely. That's lovely. Oh yeah, I used to go through some of the pictures that I've taken in museums, and just go through the meta nature. But when I would do that, there will be like 3, 4 people online, and
Hmm.
maybe one participant in the chat. So I kind of stopped, but I would like to do that again. So if you happen to know some people who are interested about the meta nature, I'm saying, feel free to tell them, because I would prefer doing that. But like, one time I
Oh,
was yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say, oh, I don't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, I think I had not really anybody that's I guess serious about getting on and getting on the
Mm.
stream and doing that. But I think
Oh no,
I
even
think
if they don't get on the
yeah.
panel, I mean, well, okay, well, now it's different, because now the chat is like members only, but still, even if they don't participate in the chat, but
Mhm.
I would see, when I see that there's a bit more people who are into it,
Mhm.
then I would do. But I did it for a while, and like I said, there'll barely be anybody, so I'm like, okay, well, it's not that worthwhile right now, but later on, when I know there's enough people who are into it, then we can go through the artifacts and see the symbolism and just read a few sentences and stuff like that. So I think it's something, I mean, I like to do it, and I think anybody that's into the meta nature would love to just go through
Yeah,
some
I
some,
would
some
love to be a
artifacts.
part. I love to be a part of it.
Yeah, yeah. So but but yeah, it just depends on the people, because last time I was live streaming and somebody in the chat was saying, yeah, I would like you to, to just go through the meta nature some more, and I told him, well, but when I do, there's barely anybody. You know what I'm saying? So,
Hmm.
but yeah, I'm glad, happy, and uh we just need more people. We don't need to be like thousands, but just a few good people, and we know we can go far. I'm sure we can go far, but even some of the people who've been talking about Kemet, they kind of made a lot of wordplay, a lot of linguistic
Right.
acrobatics, linguistic
Hmm.
gymnastics. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
earlier, you mentioned hero and Heru, and some people say that there's a correlation. I doubt that.
Yeah.
Some people,
Right.
and like Christ coming from Karest, and Karest
Hmm.
or Karese means
Hmm.
it means
Hmm.
burial. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And I mean, over the you found out on my channel like a few months ago, but I don't expect you to see all the videos, but I've been documented a lot of the acrobatic, linguistic acrobatics,
Hmm.
and some people say, Israel is ISIS, Rael,
Yeah,
and
I've
as you
seen
know,
people. Yep.
ISIS is
Hmm.
Assad, there's so many stuff like that our people do. It's
I
like,
think
dang,
like I think that people they get I get obsessed or just hyper
they are,
focused
they are obsessed,
on
yes.
the language when it's not the language doesn't matter because no matter what you speak, if you line it up with something else, like if I talk about a door and a Chinese person talk about a door, if I say door and they say they word for door, that's it doesn't really matter. But the thing that matters is the underneath the lit the English, like the lit the word the mythology.
Hmm.
That's what matters. The I would say the terrible, the literature literacy, like the what's the word, the plot, like say, for just talk about a book, the plot. That's what matters. So what if I talk about let's take Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. We talk about Old Testament, Torah, New Testament, and Bible and the Quran. The plot follows. It's just like if you have a series of a book with three books, you can the plot continues, even though the bigger plot continues, but the micro plot inside the book finishes. So yeah, this is one part is finished. Then you got the second part that's finished, and you got this third part, and that concludes all the second parts. Which is why you got which is why I think it says that in Islam everybody's a Muslim.
Yeah.
Abraham's a Muslim.
Adam was a Muslim.
Right, right.
Yeah.
They're Muslim.
Yeah.
So and it's just kind of like it's just a continuation of the plot. Like for example, you take the Odyssey or the Iliad. I think I was really surprised. I think when I first saw that I saw, I guess it was a writing or I guess an article that said that Rome usually traced back their origin to Troy because they wanted to be close to Greece but not really associated with Greece. So like I think Romulus and Remus, their father was a Trojan general, I think. Or was it?
I'm not sure. I mean, I'm
I'm
not too
trying to
familiar with
remember.
it. I'm not too
Right,
familiar
right,
with it.
right. So I think it was a. Let me see if I can pull it
I mean,
up.
I read they were raised by a she wolf, but
Right, this is before. I think
yeah.
this would be before they were raised by the mother wolf.
Yeah.
So I guess like they're So let's see. So I can't really I have to dig for it because it's not gonna be in the first. It's
They,
not gonna be in the first
they
page
have
of Google.
so much thing in common. I mean, the region is kind of the same, so obviously,
Right.
the cultures are similar in many respects, so
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be surprised at all. I just want to tell you that because I don't want to forget to tell you that
Mm-hmm.
this might be useful to you. So that's my website, obviously, and at the bottom here you have just underneath Prophet Muhammad's scholar according to Islamic sources, you have biblical parallels with texts from ancient Egypt, and this one here might be useful eventually to you. But I'm showing the parallels between different
Mm-hmm.
biblical books and different texts from Kemet. So eventually, someday that might be useful. You
Oh
obviously have the
yes,
Ten
I
Commandments.
think I've already passed the
All right.
I've already passed King of Kings, Prince of Princes in the Pert Imheru in the Book of the Dead. I passed that and I saw it and I was
Mm.
okay.
But that's just one sentence there. But here
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
I
whole text. Yeah,
understand. I
yeah,
guess
yeah,
from that sentence, it was
yeah.
kind of just like, yeah, okay, yeah,
Mhm,
and then it continues. Oh, King of Prince of Eternity, Ruler of Forever, and so I guess it's just that I guess the epithets like the titles,
mhm.
right?
Oh, it goes way further than epithets. And there, if you have time,
hmm
I've shared the link in the chat.
hmm
But
I think
um,
I've been looking at the I guess Amenemope.
exactly, I'm in
Um,
Mope,
mm-hmm.
compared to Psalm, if I'm not mistaken.
Psalms, I think, or
Um,
Proverbs. Psalms or
or
Proverbs, I think.
Proverbs, yeah. So it's no, Psalm is a great hymn to Athens. So I'm in Mope indeed is Proverbs. You're correct.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, yeah. And yeah, so if just for the record, because um it's not just because of that debate that's supposed to take place between Jabari and
Right.
the clown Garfield,
Oh,
but sometimes people try to act like we are like making stuff up, but we have the texts are
right,
there. What I'm saying,
right.
it's a fact. And the books that I quote there are books from scholars who are knowledge in the field. So
Mm-hmm.
it's important. And instead of us going through all those different similarities, and there's a lot more that I want to go through, but it takes time. Instead of us going through this, we have to deal with some conversation that you might have heard earlier, And those are the things that I've been hearing for years. It's been the same arguments, but no records. No
Mm-hmm.
records. Oh, Shem, Shem, look at the children of Shem, Canaan, Nimrod,
See, and
oh, blah, blah, blah.
that's political, and that's all political.
That's so I did, and with the black Muslims the same. You know what I'm saying? The house of Kedar or whatever, the
Mm-hmm.
Bani Hasham, Bani blah, always the same thing. It's
Yeah,
some
because I think
mythology,
even with the Hamite, I think when I figured out, I think I came to the realization that when you with the Shemite, Hamite, and Japheth, you really that's just an add-on. You really don't need the. It's just the Shem and the Ham. The Ham are if you take, I guess, the culture of the people, it's like in between their original culture, their original belief, which is that the Ugaric, that Syrian culture with El and the Canaanite culture.
hmm
You take that original, but they were in between Babylon, Sumer, Mesopotamia, and Kemet. So, and they weren't necessarily like their own place. They were in the middle. They were like in between. They're going between one and between the other. So when they go to one, they take something from there. They go to the other one, they take something from there, and then they demonize it, what they don't need, and they call it as Ham.
and
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 so,
and yeah.
so it separates them from things that they used to do, but they said, oh, we're not gonna do that no more. Like sacrifice, like just animal sacrifices, or just or even I think what I saw they used to do, just off. I think just regular incense or just smoke, or just smoke, just letting
Yeah,
smoke.
offering is good, fruits,
Right.
and some liquid, some water, some
Mm-hmm.
instances. This is something that in so many countries in Africa, that's how they do. That's how they get down,
Mm-hmm.
and in the Caribbean, some people kept that, and in some parts of America, probably more in Louisiana than other
Mm-hmm.
places, but yeah, I mean, I do the same. I do the same,
Right.
I give some offerings, but you're right. I agree with what you said, because even amongst themselves, the biblical narratives, you might have heard about the different sources like J source and P source or whatever they call it,
Mm-hmm.
but they have identified like 3 or 4 different sources. So they figured, and that's why sometimes you have statements like, in the palace, they found some scrolls and they realized, oh, we're not even following the ways, this way,
Right.
this is like a battle of the scribes. That's
Mm-hmm.
that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people fail to realize that because they read the biblical narrative as if it's like a movie and you have the script of the movie.
Right. Right.
But the scholars, they're familiar
Well,
with that.
I don't. Well, I think most people don't read the Bible cover to cover. I guess
Most
just
people
from
don't. Most people
right,
don't
just
really cover
page
to
to
cover,
page like a regular book.
but some people will really cover to cover and still be deep into
Yeah. See,
just
I
the
don't understand if
theology. Yeah,
you.
I know
I.
somebody who read the Bible 4 times. And he's a very good friend of mine, and he was
Mm-hmm.
so deep in it. I was trying to tell him what's up, and then I gave up. And years later, he sent me an email and said, "Hey, you were right. All this stuff
Mm-hmm.
is fake. That's not our way." And I did not even reply to his email because I was like, I did not even believe that he made that transition.
Yeah.
And then he contacted me again and we spoke, and I knew, okay, oh, well, he definitely let that go. But the funny thing is that recently he's been kind of talking about some narrative from the Bible and trying to tie it with our people and with
Mm-hmm.
Kemet. And I'm like, oh man, you're
Yeah.
getting
See.
back
Yeah.
into your first love,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
nobody's perfect. And at the end of the day, he's like 10 years older than me. And sometimes it'd be difficult
Yeah.
where people have a decade over you because they feel like they know better than you, and that's why earlier what your civics teacher told you is very good. Don't believe me, because what matters is the facts. And what are the
Mm-hmm.
facts? The facts are the records. When we talk about history, of course,
Right.
truth is fact. So if you have the records, that's fine. And like I said earlier, that guy was claiming Hebrews and Kemet. When I was asking him for record of Hebrews, he,
I'm just
he
gonna
couldn't
give
give
you
me any
one.
record, and he talked about the Hapiru. So that's just the way it works. So when people are sharp, they understand that's the way it is. You talked about air. We have El, Baal. We have that. You know, we have some statues. We have their names written here and there. Even in the Mesha Stela, which is in the Louvre Museum, there's a mention
Mm-hmm.
of Baal, if I'm not mistaken. I filmed it anyway. So,
Mm-hmm.
people will be surprised. But those people, those inhabitants of Canaans, they were polytheistic. You know what I'm saying? And El is just a supreme Canaanite deity.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
And you mentioned Babylon earlier. I have a video called From Babylon to Allah. Bab is door in Arabic. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, most likely in this language spoken in Babylon, maybe some other language. But anyway, Bab is Bab. It comes from Bab Ilu, and Ilu is just a form of El. You know, so L, we know it as EL, but it might be
Mm-hmm.
IL as well.
I-L.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
so it's like
Mm-hmm.
the gate to L, the gate to God. You know, it's just as simple as that. You know, but you know, and as even Allah, you know, is Al Ilah. Al,
Mm-hmm.
the definite article, the, and Ilah is means God basically. So Allah is a contraction of the two. Allah
Right.
literally means the God. You know,
Right.
and once again, Eli is the same as it's the same as L. L can be EL or it can be IL. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so this is same people, same region, kind of similar uh
Mm-hmm.
belief system, and over time they have some splits. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And
So
and
I
and you know,
was
yeah. Go ahead,
okay.
brother. Go
Oh,
ahead.
okay. I was gonna say that that yeah, like the split. So I was saying like the I guess the split. I would say that the Bible focuses on a specific group of Canaanites, right? I get what I say. The Old Testament, I would say. So just the
Mm,
Old Testament. It focuses on a specific group of Canaanites that when I guess more information we learned about Kemet was that they had that the gnomes had their own chief deity, their own chief
yes,
neter.
indeed.
So I came to I thought about it, I was like, what about the Canaanite people? They were close. So what makes why couldn't they have different tribes? Because they obviously had tribes because they say they had tribes. So the difference is that if Baal, Yah, and Moloch are in the same pantheon, then they're the same people. They're just different heads of different tribes. And
Mm,
so, what then if you take that perspective and continue when you go into when they left when they left out of Kemet and came back into Canaan and they went to war with Baal and Moloch, that's them taking over I would say like how you have Khonsu that the cannibal him when he absorbs and eats the other natures and obtains their powers. So I would say like that absorption the absorption of power like how like Khonsu absorbed Ea, right? So the same thing could have happened, but on top of the fact that they people actually did that, it wasn't just the metaphorical, like they actually went to those places and wiped them out. And then the people who survived, they say you're gonna believe in y'all, you're gonna die.
you gonna get down or lay
So
down?
right. So it's kind of so, but that also goes into the difference in the the conception or the visualization of how they see how each the African and the or the Asiatic or the European views of the divine. You had the metaphorical, and then you had the literal.
Yeah.
And so when you had the metaphorical say, oh yeah, we're gonna absorb this nature, we're gonna eat the other nature, that just means that Kansu EI isn't as influenced, like they don't say EI, they say Kansu now.
Hmm.
So that's the absorption. But when you have Yah taking over Baal like that, that's not about Baal and y'all have a battle. I think right after the exit, right after Mount Sinai. Um, they have a battle, and he absorbs, and he becomes the chief deity of people of Baal. Well, the groups of people who were still in, I guess, came in that Exodus group that were worshiping Baal, essentially. So that's kind of the absorption was taken as literal in their sense. So we're gonna they whole people, their whole space is bad. We gotta go there, we gotta clean it up, we gotta put in, or we gotta save it, or we gotta, you know, and that, and you can see that mentality travel through each book, through each sect of that specific group of people, because it's a group of a group of a group of a group. That's what the Abraham religions are. So it's groups of a smaller little group.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that connects them all is this mentality that if I'm not right, if this is right, that this is right. If it's not this, then it's wrong. And that maybe came from, I can't tell you, I can't give a hypothesis. I can't give one really, but it's just that mentality of just, it's like, oh yeah, if this isn't it, then it's devil like, it's satanic, oh it's not God like if it's not this.
Yeah.
And that arrogant thinking produces the things that continue after, like the Islamic slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade, the Crusades, the Spanish Inquisition, the regular Inquisition, the even you had some Jewish people enslaving
Yes.
Africa.
Yes, yes, so
So
it's a reality.
right,
It's a
yeah.
reality. But you
So
see, with what happened recently is that, oh, those guys saying that Jews are responsible for the trade, like people trying to say it's only them. No, that's not what they're trying to say. But hey, at some
right.
point, some people you cannot really address like that because they just don't tolerate any criticism. But
Hmm.
they're not the only one though. There's some other group of people, who are very close to them. They're kind of the same way because they act like, they're so persecuted and it's just horrible. It's the end of the world. But the wrongdoing that they have, like the slavery that's still going on in some of their countries, nobody
Hmm.
wants to talk about that. But brother, I'm gonna wrap it up for today because it's been 3 hours and a half. But I'm very
All
glad
right.
to have met you, and
Good
we're
to
gonna
meet you
have
too.
plenty
Good
of
to
time
meet
to,
you too.
yeah, we're gonna have plenty of time to talk. What I'm saying, but we need some young people like you. I'm very happy.
Oh man,
So
thank you. No problem.
feel free to make your closing remarks, brother, and then I'm gonna close it out.
Okay. Closing remarks. I'm gonna say Shim. What is it? Shim in my go in peace.
Hmm.
Um, and also I just want to say that if we talk black people, we talk about, if we gonna say we Canaanites, if we gonna say we Hebrews, Canaanites, if we gonna say that, let's talk about Carthage. Let's talk about the actual Canaanite people that fought for Africa. And because that's obviously been, that's not mentioned at all. Nobody has said, oh yeah, we got Canaanites fought for Africa. Nobody said that because they don't talk about Carthage, Hannibal, so Barca. So I just want, I was thinking that I should just come on a bit more, or just try getting on different panels, and trying to just put some things out there. And this is my first time getting on like a panel and thing like that, so I really appreciate it. And yeah, I just hope everybody is has a wonderful rest of the day. You are blessed. You are walking with nature. You are walking with divine energy. You are walking with whatever divine being you want. Really, I'm not really judging. I just want people to have a nice time, a nice day, a life, and just be better than you were yesterday. Be a better
that's
person than you were yesterday.
that's a very good saying. Be better than you were yesterday. That's improvement. That's progress.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Dua Sen E,
Do I
Shemem
do I?
Hotep as well. And I'm gonna say, like I opened, Hotep Senu Hena Senut, Itiren Ishakandugu Kemet, Duaitu Duane Cheru. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. I don't argue, I state facts. And I said it already. If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem. Yeah, I will close it this way. So, hotel brothers and sisters.
What's up? What's up?
Now, for the record, for those who don't know, I'm giving middle nature classes. And here, that's the flyer. Okay? So, those who are interested, feel free to holler at me. If you're not interested, it's cool. But I recommend that everybody who has not yet seen the video, Kemet and Ma'at, Before Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, then watch it. It has about 300,000 views and really deserves to have a lot more.
I just want to let everyone know who's listening in now and who's going to listen to this stream in the future. I just had my first Meta Nature class by Brother Shaka today, and I've had other Meta Nature lessons by other teachers, and I can tell you right now, the brother is the best in the game. He is that was one of the best classes I've ever had, ever. So if you're interested in learning the Meta Nature, if you're interested in getting the basics of it, Brother Shaka is an awesome teacher. Get with him, and it's extremely affordable. This brother is giving us his time and his skills, and he's basically giving it away. I mean, I just consider it a donation. You know what I'm saying? So if anybody's interested in learning the Meta Nature, get with this brother right here. He's an awesome, awesome, awesome teacher. And I'll end with that.
Hotep Senu, Hena Senut. This is Julie, also known as Servant of Yah, and I'm currently taking the Medu Neture classes with Brother Shaka, and it has been an amazing experience. Only 2 lessons so far, and I feel like I've been taking the classes for months, just with the how in depth he goes into the vocabulary words, the construction of the language, the grammar. It's been immeasurable, the experience. And one thing that comes across, hands down, is his extreme passion for teaching this to anyone who is willing to learn and has an interest in learning. So I highly suggest, if you are interested, even a minimal interest, that you subscribe to the classes with Brother Shaka. It's such a nominal amount for how much you get. I know, like, our last class was over 2.5 hours. It felt like 2 minutes, but because that's how, involved you are in what he's teaching and how he teaches and how compassionate he is about what he teaches. Also with sharing materials free of charge, no question, no doubt. It's just what he does. He doesn't have to, but he does. And so I just wanted to give a short testimonial about the class and the effectiveness of the class. And all of that is attested to how studied Brother Shaka is. So I highly recommend anyone with a minimal interest that you do sign up for the Medu Neture class. Hotep.
Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, which is Ma'at Forever. Don't forget to watch the video entitled Kemet and Ma'at. Don't forget to share Kemet and Ma'at on my channel on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, or other social media that you use. Email, text messages, you name it. Those who wish to donate can do so on paypal.me/ma'atforever.